You must come to the understanding that the very thing you seek is already alive within you. You do not need to wait for permission, approval, or applause. The secret has always been that the power is not outside of you, it is you. When you begin to turn your focus inward, when you dare to recognize that your imagination is the creative force of your life, you awaken to a truth so shocking that it can never be forgotten. You are the author of your own destiny. For too long, people have told you to play small, to wait your turn, to follow the rules that keep you silent and unseen. But deep inside you, there is a voice that refuses to be hidden, a voice that has been whispering all along. You are more than this. You are not here to blend into the crowd. You are here to shock them with the magnitude of your being. The moment you dare to accept that you already carry the fullness of your desires, you no longer chase after things. You magnetize them. What you want begins to find you, because it has always belonged to you. Imagine for a moment the life you dream of, the wealth, the love, the recognition, the freedom. Feel it as though it is yours, right now. Speak it within yourself with authority, and you will find that the world bends to the vision you hold. The laws of reality are not against you, they are waiting for your command. When you focus on you, not in arrogance, but in certainty, you awaken the hidden kingdom that has been asleep in your soul. And suddenly, the things that seemed impossible to others become natural for you. Do not underestimate what happens when you decide that you are worthy. The universe mirrors back the image you hold of yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy, circumstances will play the part and confirm your belief. But the instant you shift, the instant you choose to believe that you are destined for greatness, the stage of life rearranges itself to spotlight you. This is the power most people fear, because it demands responsibility. You cannot hide anymore once you know. You cannot blame the world, because the world is showing you only what you assume to be true. This is why you must focus on you, not on what others say, not on what others think, not on the shadows of the past. When you give your full attention to the version of yourself that already possesses what you desire, you collapse the distance between dreaming and having. What shocks everyone is not that you finally succeed, but how naturally and effortlessly it happens for you. They will wonder how you made it look so easy. They will ask what secret you discovered. And you will know it was not a secret at all, only a truth you dared to claim while others doubted. Every time you turn within and claim, I am already what I long to be, you move mountains in the unseen. Doors open, people appear, opportunities flow, because the world cannot resist a mind that has decided. You become unstoppable, not because you fight harder than others, but because you know you no longer need to fight. You have aligned yourself with the highest vision of you. This is not about arrogance. It is about awakening to the fact that you are the center of your world. Your focus creates your reality, and your imagination is the birthplace of miracles. If you will dare to stand firm in the assumption of your fulfilled desire, the world will be forced to bow to it. And in that moment, you will shock everyone, not by proving them wrong, but by proving yourself right. You must come to the place where you recognize that everything you seek, everything you long for, everything you hope to achieve, is not somewhere far away in the distance, waiting for years to unfold. It is already alive within you, here and now. The greatest mistake most people make is believing they must run endlessly towards some distant prize, chasing success, begging for approval, longing for recognition. But the truth is this: you do not chase what you already are, you claim it. You do not wait for permission to shine, you shine. You do not need the world to crown you worthy, you declare yourself worthy, and the world has no choice but to respond. The most shocking thing you can ever realize is that the power of creation is not in the hands of someone else. It is not in the systems of this world, not in the opinions of the crowd, not in the permission of those who sit in judgment. The power is you. The moment you accept this, life itself bends to the vision you hold. The circumstances you once thought impossible begin to arrange themselves with a precision that leaves others speechless. They wonder how you are moving so quickly, why doors that were shut for them open effortlessly for you. They cannot understand that you are no longer fighting from the outside. You have claimed the victory within, and the outer world is simply catching up. All your life, there has been a voice within you whispering, sometimes shouting, urging you to remember who you are. That voice has told you in quiet moments, you are not ordinary, you are not small, you are not here to simply exist and then vanish. You are here to create, to reveal, to embody the greatness that has always lived inside you. And yet, how often have you silenced that voice? How often have you ignored it, believing instead the lies of limitation, the whispers of fear, the echo of doubt? But now you are at the point where you can no longer deny it. Something inside you knows it is time to rise. It is time to shock the world by daring to focus on you, by daring to hold fast to the vision of who you truly are. The world will always try to distract you, to pull your attention away from the infinite treasure within and throw it towards shadows, noise, and illusions. People will tell you to conform, to settle, to lower your expectations. They will tell you to play small, to keep quiet, to stay in your lane. But the moment you truly focus on you, you begin to see how false those voices are. You begin to feel a strength that was always there, a certainty that you do not need to compete with anyone because there is no competition. You are the only one who can live your life, create your reality, walk your path. And when you hold your gaze steady on the life you already possess within your imagination, the outer world cannot resist it. It must yield. It must bow to the picture you have dared to hold. This is the secret so few dare to accept. The universe is not random. Life is not chaos. Everything you see, everything you touch, everything you experience is only the reflection of the state you hold inside. Your thoughts, your assumptions, your inner conversations, they are not meaningless whispers. They are commands to the unseen. And when you begin to take them seriously, when you begin to deliberately speak within yourself the truth of who you already are, then you are no longer begging life to change. You are commanding life to mirror you. This is where the shock comes, because those around you who live only on the surface cannot understand how quickly everything rearranges itself for you. They see the results, but they cannot see the inner work that made it inevitable. You do not need to force. You do not need to beg. You do not need to strive until exhaustion. The moment you align with the reality of your desire, the path clears. Imagine it now. The wealth you desire, the love you long for, the recognition you crave, the freedom you seek, see it in detail. Feel it as though it is already yours. Speak it silently to yourself, with authority, with certainty, with conviction. I am already there. I already have it. I already am it. Watch how the air shifts around you, how your posture changes, how your energy rises. For in that very moment, you are no longer waiting, you are living. And the world cannot resist a life that has already been claimed. There will be those who laugh, who doubt, who mock. Let them. Their disbelief cannot touch you unless you take it into yourself and make it real. Their doubt cannot shape your world unless you choose to surrender your vision to their fear. But you will not. You will remain fixed, unshaken, steady in the truth of who you are. You will remind yourself daily, hourly, if you must, that the outer world is nothing but a shadow of the inner. That if you persist in the assumption of your greatness, the world will have no choice but to reflect it. Do not underestimate the simple act of focusing on you, for the world has trained you to focus on everything else, on the obstacles, on the opinions, on the noise. But the moment you turn inward, the moment you decide that your inner image is more real than anything outside, you activate a power that most people will never understand. And when the results begin to appear, when opportunities begin to knock, when people begin to treat you differently, when success begins to flow, they will be shocked. Not because it is impossible, but because they never realized it could be this simple. This is why you must hold firm. This is why you must not waver. Every time doubt rises, silence it with certainty. Every time fear whispers, answer with confidence. Every time the outer world seems to deny you, remind yourself that appearances are only temporary reflections, and that the unseen reality you have claimed is stronger, more powerful, and already yours. The moment you decide to live from the end, to think from the place of already being the person you wish to be, nothing can stop the unfolding of your vision. Understand this: life is not waiting to give you what you want someday. Life is responding to what you accept as true right now. You can either accept the old story, the tired belief, the worn-out pattern, or you can accept the vision of greatness that is already yours. And when you do, you will discover that the world itself rises to confirm it. People will appear, resources will flow, timing will align, and everything you thought was against you will suddenly serve you. The shock will not only be theirs, it will be yours as well, because you will realize how simple it was all along. You are not here to chase shadows, you are not here to beg for scraps, you are not here to live half a life, you are here to reveal the fullness of the power that already lives within you, and when you finally dare to focus on you, when you finally choose to live in the certainty of who you are, you will not only rise, you will rise in such a way that the world cannot ignore you. You will shock them, not with arrogance, not with noise, not with force, but with the undeniable reality that you have stepped into your true self. They will see it in your presence, in your confidence, in the ease with which life unfolds for you. They will ask what secret you discovered, what door you walked through, what formula you followed, and you will know that there was no secret, no formula, no hidden door. There was only you, daring to claim what had always been yours. Every dream, every desire, every vision, it has been waiting for you to stop waiting. It has been waiting for you to step into it with certainty, to assume it as real, to live as though it is already done. And the moment you do, the moment you hold firm in that state, the moment you decide, life will move in ways that shock not only those around you, but even yourself. For you will see how quickly, how perfectly, how beautifully the outer world bends to the inner vision. Focus on you. Hold the vision. Live as though it is already so. And when the world asks how, when the world stares in disbelief, when the world marvels at the speed of your rising, you will know the answer. You dared to believe. You dared to see yourself as more. You dared to shock everyone by simply being who you truly are. You must come to the place where you no longer wait for life to give you permission, where you no longer stand at the door, hoping someone will invite you in. You must come to the place where you realize you are the door, you are the key, you are the invitation. Everything you seek, whether it be love, freedom, abundance, recognition, peace, has always been carried within you, pressed down in the invisible chambers of your being, waiting for your focus to awaken it. For too long, you have been trained to search outside yourself, to measure yourself against others, to seek approval from the crowd, to beg for affirmation from a world that has no authority over you. But the shocking truth is that the world only mirrors the image you hold of yourself. It is not the crowd that defines you, it is your own inner declaration. And the moment you turn your focus inward, the moment you dare to believe in the reality of your unseen vision, you begin to move through life with a power that no one can deny. You have been taught to wait until the right time, wait until circumstances change, wait until someone notices you, wait until the stars align. But the truth is that the moment you accept yourself as already being the one you long to be, the moment you live from the end and carry yourself as though the desire is already fulfilled, you collapse time itself. What would have taken years suddenly flows to you in weeks. What others strive for in vain falls into your hands as if it has been waiting for you all along. This is why those around you will be shocked. They have been conditioned to struggle, to fight, to crawl toward their dreams. But you will rise not through force, but through vision, through certainty, through the unshakable knowing that you already are the one you seek to become. Your imagination is not a child's toy, it is the creative center of your life. When you imagine yourself as already wealthy, already loved, already successful, already powerful, you are not playing games. You are planting the seeds of reality. These inner images are not fantasies, they are blueprints. They are living, breathing molds into which the substance of life itself is poured. And the more you return to these images, the more you inhabit them, the more natural they feel, the faster the world conforms to match them. Do you not see? The outer is nothing but a shadow. The real work is always done within. And when you understand this, you will no longer exhaust yourself trying to move the shadows. You will go straight to the source, your assumption, your belief, your focus. Consider this. Every time you speak to yourself within, you are writing the script that life must perform. If you speak defeat, life will echo defeat. If you speak lack, life will mirror lack. If you speak fear, life will confirm fear. But the moment you speak victory, the moment you assume abundance, the moment you claim love, the moment you declare yourself worthy, the stage of life rearranges itself to spotlight you. This is why it is said that you must focus on you, not in selfishness, but in truth. For until you hold yourself as worthy, until you see yourself as chosen, until you know yourself as powerful, the world will not reflect it back. People around you may doubt, they may mock, they may laugh at your certainty. Let them. Their disbelief is their prison, not yours. Their limitations are the chains they choose to wear, not the ones you must carry. When you decide to live from the vision of your fulfilled desire, you rise above the noise. You do not need to convince anyone. You do not need to argue. You do not need to fight. You need only to remain steadfast within, to hold the picture of yourself as already possessing what you desire, and let life do the rest. The shocking thing is how naturally it will happen. The very people who dismissed you will watch in amazement as doors open, opportunities flow, resources appear. They will wonder how you made it look effortless, and you will know the answer. It was never effort, it was assumption. This is the power you have always carried, but perhaps you were afraid to use it. Afraid of being disappointed, afraid of failing, afraid of wanting too much. But disappointment only comes when you try to control the outer without claiming the inner. Failure only exists when you refuse to persist in the assumption of your desire. Wanting too much is an illusion, for you cannot want what is not already yours. If the vision lives within you, it is because it belongs to you. The very presence of the desire is proof that it is already fulfilled in the unseen. Your only work is to persist in knowing it is done, to live in the end, to walk as though it were already yours. Look at the world around you. It is filled with people waiting for proof before they believe, waiting for evidence before they trust, waiting for signs before they step forward. But you must live differently. You must dare to believe first, to see first, to feel first, to assume first. You must walk into the invisible and trust that it will become visible. And when you do, when you stand in that place of unwavering certainty, the proof will come, the evidence will arrive, the signs will appear. But they will not be what created your belief. They will be what your belief created. And that is what shocks everyone, because they have the process backward. They think life must prove itself to them, when in truth, they must prove themselves to life. Do not be swayed by appearances. They are shadows, fleeting images of the past, reflections of an old state of being. If you continue to judge by what you see now, you will remain trapped in cycles of repetition. But if you dare to hold a vision greater than what your eyes reveal, if you dare to believe in the unseen more than the seen, you will rise above circumstances and watch them bow to you. This is the secret that few accept, but those who do are the ones who shock the world. Every day, remind yourself, I am not waiting for it, I am it. I am not chasing it, I have it. I am not hoping for it, I live in it now. Feel the truth of these words, let them sink into your bones. Let them become your inner dialogue. And as you do, the state will harden into fact. The unseen will crystallize into form. The invisible will clothe itself in the visible, and you will stand in awe of how life bends itself to your assumption. There is nothing arrogant about this truth. It is not pride to know who you are. It is wisdom. It is not selfish to focus on you. It is necessary. For until you awaken, until you rise, until you step into your fullness, the world cannot see what is possible. You are not just creating for yourself. You are setting an example. You are lighting a path. You are revealing a principle that others will one day dare to claim for themselves. That is why it is said, shock them, not with noise, not with arrogance, but with the quiet certainty of a life lived from the end. Imagine the joy of walking through life, knowing that nothing can be withheld from you, that everything you desire is already yours, that the only requirement is your assumption. Imagine the freedom of no longer begging, no longer chasing, no longer fearing, but simply being. This is the life that is waiting for you when you decide to focus on you. The life that does not apologize for its greatness. The life that does not shrink to fit the expectations of others. The life that expands, rises and shines until all who see it are left in awe. This is your time. This is your moment. This is the hour when you stop waiting, stop doubting, stop hiding, and dare to step fully into who you are. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were never meant to blend into the crowd. You were meant to stand out, to rise, to create, to manifest, to embody the greatness within. And when you do, when you hold fast to the vision, when you persist in the assumption, you will not only transform your life, you will shock everyone by the ease, the speed, the inevitability of your rising. You must understand that nothing in your life changes until you change the way you see yourself. The outer world has no choice but to reflect back the image you hold within, and yet most people spend their entire lives fighting shadows on the wall, never realizing that they themselves are the projector. The shocking truth is that all the power you have been searching for has never once been outside of you. It has always been you. It has always been waiting for the moment when you would stop doubting, stop delaying, stop looking around, and finally dare to look within. When you do, you will discover that what you thought was impossible has already been accomplished in the unseen, and the outer world is simply waiting for your acceptance to bring it forth. Your life is not the sum of circumstances. It is the sum of your assumptions. Every event, every encounter, every opportunity has its roots in the invisible conversations you hold with yourself. What you continually accept as true, life is compelled to express. This is why you must focus on you, not in vanity, not in selfishness, but in truth. Because when you finally give yourself permission to hold the highest vision of who you are, when you finally claim that you are already what you seek to be, when you finally refuse to shrink, the world cannot help but bend in your favor. Those around you will stare in disbelief, wondering how you made it happen so fast, wondering what secret door you discovered, wondering what force has suddenly begun to push you forward, and they will not understand that it was not a secret door, not a hidden force, not luck. It was you. It was always you. Think for a moment of the desires that live in your heart. They are not random, they are not accidents, they are not cruel illusions dangled before you to mock your limits. They are signals, proof that what you seek is already yours in the unseen. The very fact that you can long for it, imagine it, see it in your mind, feel it in your heart, is the evidence that it already exists. Desire is the seed, assumption is the soil, persistence is the water, and soon what was once unseen will break through into form, undeniable, solid, and real. This is not wishful thinking, it is law. The world must yield to the image you hold when you hold it with certainty. The tragedy of most lives is not that they aim too high and miss, but that they aim too low and accept it as final. People settle into ordinary patterns, believing that life has dealt them a hand they cannot change. They wait for opportunities to come knocking, not realizing that opportunities are drawn to the magnetic pull of the inner state. They hope for recognition, not realizing that the world cannot recognize what they refuse to recognize within themselves. But you, if you are hearing these words, if something inside you is stirring even now, you are different. You are awakening to the truth that you are not here to blend into the background. You are here to shock them. You are here to live at a level of certainty, confidence, and authority so great that when others see you rise, they are forced to question everything they thought they knew about reality. When you begin to imagine differently, you begin to live differently. The pictures you hold inside are not harmless dreams. They are commands. They are blueprints. They are the invisible architecture of your future. And the more often you return to them, the more natural they become, until one day you wake up and find that life itself has molded itself into their shape. This is the power that has always been yours. And it grows stronger the moment you dare to focus on you, to place your attention not on the noise of the world, but on the still, undeniable reality of your inner vision. You have been told to be realistic. You have been told to lower your expectations. You have been told to prepare for disappointment. But tell me, what is reality except the solidification of what was once unseen? Every building was once a thought. Every invention was once a dream. Every great life was once an assumption someone dared to hold. To be realistic is to accept the limits others have placed on themselves, but to live by vision is to declare that you will not be bound by appearances. You will not be confined by the evidence of your senses. You will not be trapped by the so-called facts of the present moment. You will hold fast to the unseen until the seen is forced to bow. And when it bows, when it takes the shape of your assumption, those who told you to be realistic will be the first to marvel. Do you not see how powerful you are? You can change the script of your life at any moment by changing the inner dialogue you hold. You can move mountains without lifting a finger if you will only lift your imagination. You can turn rejection into acceptance, scarcity into abundance, loneliness into love, not by fighting the outer world, but by changing the inner image. Speak to yourself differently, see yourself differently, carry yourself as though it is already done. Do not wait for the evidence. Create it by living as though it were already true. This is the way to shock them, not with empty words, but with undeniable results. There will always be those who cannot believe. Let them cling to their doubts. Let them argue for their limitations. Let them hold fast to the chains they choose, but you will not. You will rise. You will persist. You will dare to believe in the unseen more than the seen, in the invisible more than the visible, in your inner truth more than the outer noise. And because you dare, you will see. Because you assume, you will have. Because you persist, you will stand in the very life you once only imagined. And when you do, the world will not be able to explain it. They will search for reasons. They will credit luck, timing, coincidence. But you will know the truth. It was not luck, not chance, not coincidence. It was focus. It was assumption. It was the power within you, finally unleashed. Every single day you are offered the choice. Live from the old story or step into the new. Believe the appearances or believe the vision. Submit to the shadows or command the light. Most people choose the old story because it feels safe, because it feels familiar, because it does not require faith. But you are not here to repeat the past. You are here to create the future. You are here to declare with your very being that you are more than the sum of circumstances, more than the echo of yesterday. You are the author. You are the creator. You are the one who decides. Do not mistake persistence for struggle. Persistence is not fighting harder. Persistence is remaining unshaken in the inner knowing, no matter what the outer says. Persistence is looking at the evidence of lack and still declaring abundance. Persistence is hearing no and still holding yes. Persistence is standing in the storm of contradiction and refusing to move from your vision. And when you do, when you hold fast, the storm must die. The contradiction must dissolve, and the outer must surrender to the inner. You are not powerless. You are not waiting for someone else to rescue you. You are not at the mercy of fate. You are the one fate itself must obey. And the moment you accept this, the moment you live as though it were true, you become unstoppable. The world cannot resist you. People cannot ignore you. Opportunities cannot pass you by. They are drawn to you as iron to a magnet, because you have aligned yourself with the truth of who you are. So imagine boldly, assume courageously, speak confidently, walk as though every step is guided, as though every door is already open, as though every desire is already fulfilled. Hold the vision so clearly, so consistently, so faithfully that it becomes the only reality you know. And when it does, the outer world must match it. There is no other option. The law cannot fail. And when it happens, when your desires unfold with effortless precision, when your life rises into greatness before the eyes of all who doubted, the shock will be theirs. For you will not be surprised, you will not be shaken, you will not be amazed. You will know that this was always yours. You will know that you were always meant to stand here. You will know that the only difference was the moment you decided to focus on you, to trust the vision, to persist in the assumption. And that knowing, that unshakable certainty will be the greatest treasure of all. You must realize now that nothing in your outer life can ever shift until you dare to change the way you see yourself. The outer is only a shadow, a reflection of the state you hold within, and yet so many live their entire lives chasing shadows, fighting with appearances, trying to rearrange the mirror instead of transforming the face it reflects. The power has never been in the mirror. The power has always been in you. The moment you see this, the moment you truly accept it, life itself bends to your inner command. Circumstances that once seemed unmovable begin to soften and break open. Doors that were bolted shut swing wide as if waiting for you all along, and people who never once acknowledged your presence suddenly see you standing tall. It shocks them, but it will not shock you because deep down you will know that you are only witnessing the natural unfolding of what you already dared to claim within. The world has trained you to wait. Wait for conditions to be perfect. Wait for permission. Wait for someone else to tell you it is your time. You were told to be patient, to be realistic, to accept what is given and never reach beyond what the senses reveal. But the truth is that waiting has never been the answer. The only thing you ever needed to do was to step into the assumption that you already are what you desire to be, that you already possess what you seek, that the very life you dream of is yours now. When you choose to live from the end, when you hold yourself steady in the inner, knowing that it is already done, time itself collapses. What you thought would take years begins to unfold in weeks. What others struggle toward for decades begins to flow to you with ease. And the ones who told you to wait are left stunned by how quickly your world rearranges itself. This is why you must focus on you, not because you are selfish, not because you are blind to others, but because until you awaken, until you assume, until you accept, nothing else can move. Everything begins with the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy, the world will echo that unworthiness back at you. If you see yourself as small, the world will crowd you into corners. But the moment you declare yourself worthy, the moment you assume your greatness, the moment you rise in certainty, the world has no choice but to reflect it. You are the cause. Life is the effect. To know this is to hold the key to freedom. Your imagination is not idle. It is not fantasy. It is not play. It is the workshop of creation, the hidden factory where all realities are born. Every time you dare to see yourself differently, every time you imagine yourself already living in the state you long for, you are planting seeds that cannot fail to grow. These inner pictures are not harmless dreams. They are the blueprint of your destiny. And the more vividly, the more consistently, the more naturally you live in them, the faster the world must conform. This is why it is said that what you assume, you become. Not because the assumption changes something far away, but because the assumption is creation itself. Think of the desires that stir your heart. They are not random. They are not cruel illusions meant to torment you. They are not fantasies sent to mock your limitations. They are proof. Proof that what you long for already exists. Proof that the life you dream of is not only possible, but waiting for you to claim it. The very existence of the desire is the evidence of its fulfillment. You could not even conceive of it if it did not already exist in some form. Desire is the invitation, assumption is the acceptance, persistence is the banquet, and sooner than you realize, what was once invisible will stand solid before your eyes. Most people do not believe this. They argue for their limitations. They cling to their chains and call them facts. They bow to the evidence of their senses and insist that nothing can change until the outer changes first. They want proof before belief, evidence before faith, manifestation before assumption. But you must live differently. You must believe first, assume first, live as though it were true first. You must walk in the unseen with such confidence that the seen has no choice but to bend, and when it does, it
My dear friends, the truth I speak of is this. Be confident you will get everything in life. Now you may be thinking, how can I be confident of getting everything when my current reality seems so far from my desires? This, my dear friends, is precisely where we must begin our journey of understanding. For the world you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of your own consciousness. It is the fruit of your past assumptions, beliefs, and imaginal acts. But here's the wonderful news. Just as your current reality is the result of your past thinking, your future reality can be shaped by your present imagination. You have within you the power to create any reality you desire. This power is your own wonderful human imagination. And it is God in action within you. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. The Bible tells us in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. What is this Word? It is not mere letters on a page or sounds from your lips. The Word is your inner conversation, your assumptions about yourself and the world around you. It is the mental chatter that runs through your mind day and night, shaping your reality in ways you may not even realize. When you truly grasp this concept, when you understand that your inner world is the cause, and your outer world is the effect. You will begin to see why confidence in getting everything you desire is not just possible. It is a natural state of one who knows the law. But let me be clear. This confidence is not the brash arrogance of the ego. It is not a loud proclamation to the world of what you will achieve. No, the confidence I speak of is a quiet, unshakable knowing. Is the calm assurance of a farmer who has planted his seeds and knows that the harvest will come in due season. This confidence comes from understanding the immutable law of assumption. This law states that if you assume a thing to be true and persist in that assumption, it must become a fact in your external world. It does not matter what your current circumstances are, what others may say, or what past experiences you've had. The law is absolute and works with mathematical precision. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, I've tried positive thinking before and it didn't work. My dear friends, positive thinking alone is not enough. You must go beyond mere surface level affirmations and embody the state of having your desire fulfilled. You must live from the end. What do I mean by living from the end? It means that instead of looking at your current reality and trying to figure out how to get what you want, you imagine that you already have it. You step into the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You create a scene in your imagination that implies your desire has already been realized. And you dwell in that scene until it feels natural and real to you. Let me give you an example. Suppose you desire financial abundance. Instead of constantly worrying about your bills or focusing on your lack, you would create a scene in your imagination where you are living the life of abundance. Perhaps you imagine yourself looking at a bank statement with a substantial balance, or you feel the joy and relief of easily paying all your bills with money to spare. You would enter into this scene with all your senses, making it as vivid and real as possible. Here's the key. You don't just do this once and forget about it. You return to this scene again and again, especially as you fall asleep at night. You make it your new inner conversation. Instead of telling yourself, I'm always broke or I can never get ahead, you consistently assume the feeling of financial abundance. You live as though it is already true. This, my friends, is the art of confident assumption. It is the practice of aligning your inner world with your desires, knowing that your outer world must conform to this new inner reality. Now, some of you may be wondering, but what about action? Don't I need to do something in the physical world to achieve my goals? This is a common misunderstanding. Of course, action has its place, but true inspired action flows naturally from your state of being. When you have truly assumed the state of the wish fulfilled, you will find yourself naturally taking the right actions at the right time. Consider for a moment how you would act if you already had everything you desired. Would you still be frantically searching for solutions? Would you be anxiously trying to make things happen? No, you would be calm, confident, and at peace. This is the state from which effective action springs. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is animated entirely by your consciousness. Therefore, trying to change things by manipulating the outer world is like trying to change your reflection in the mirror by touching the glass. The only way to change your reflection is to change yourself. And the mirror will faithfully reflect that change. This brings us to another crucial point. The importance of persistence. The law of assumption works with absolute precision, but it operates on its own time. Your desire may manifest immediately, or it may take weeks, months, or even years. The key is to persist in your assumption regardless of appearances. When you plant a seed in the ground, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You water it, you provide the right conditions, and you know that in due time it will sprout and grow into a mighty tree. Your desires are like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Once planted through your assumption, they will grow and manifest in your reality if you persist in nurturing them with your faith and continued assumption. Now, let's address a common obstacle that many face on this path. Doubt. Doubt is the enemy of faith, and faith is essential for the operation of the law. But here's the beautiful truth. Even if you have doubts, even if you don't believe 100 that this will work, you can still succeed. How? By persisting in spite of your doubts. You see, your subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what you consciously believe and what you imagine to be true. If you consistently imagine and feel yourself living your desire, even if your conscious mind doubts, your subconscious will accept it as fact and begin to bring it into manifestation. This is why I often say, if you will assume your desire and live there as though it were true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. Your assumptions persisted in will harden into fact regardless of any contradictory evidence presented by your senses. Let me share with you a personal experience to illustrate this point. Many years ago, when I first began to understand this law, I was living in New York City, struggling to make ends meet. I desired to travel to Barbados to visit my family, but I had no money for the trip. Instead of focusing on my lack of funds, I began to imagine myself already in Barbados. Every night as I fell asleep, I would feel the tropical breeze on my skin, hear the sound of the waves, and feel the joy of being with my family. I persisted in this assumption for several weeks, and then the most remarkable thing happened. I received a letter from my brother in Barbados, containing money for a ticket to come home. The circumstances arranged themselves perfectly, and within a short time I found myself actually in Barbados, experiencing in the flesh what I had so vividly imagined. This, my friends, is the power of confident assumption. It is the power to shape your reality through the creative use of your imagination. And this power is not limited to small things or material possessions. It extends to every aspect of your life. Your relationships, your career, your health, your spiritual growth. There's nothing that exists in this world that's not first conceived in someone's imagination. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, what about other people? Don't they have free will? How can I be confident of getting everything when it involves other people's decisions? This is a common concern, but it stems from a misunderstanding of the nature of reality. You see, everyone in your world is you pushed out. They are playing the parts that your consciousness has assigned to them. As you change your concept of self, as you assume a new state of being, the people in your world must conform to this new concept. This is not about controlling others. It's about understanding that your consciousness is the only operative power in your world. Have you ever had the experience of changing your attitude towards someone, only to find that their behavior towards you changed as well, even though you didn't say or do anything different externally? This is the law in action. As within, so without. This understanding liberates you from the need to manipulate or control external circumstances. You no longer need to worry about how things will work out or try to force situations to conform to your desires. Your only job is to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and persist in that assumption. The how, when, and where of its manifestation is not your concern. That is the job of the law, which works with a wisdom far beyond your conscious reasoning. Let's take this a step further. Not only can you be confident of getting everything you desire in life, but you can also be confident in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You see, as you begin to live from this new state of being, as you embody the person who has everything they desire, you'll find that your perception of challenges and obstacles changes. What once seemed like insurmountable problems become opportunities for growth and expansion. You begin to see every experience, whether seemingly good or bad, as a perfect reflection of your consciousness, providing you with the exact lessons and growth you need at that moment. This shift in perspective is crucial. It allows you to maintain your confident assumption even when things don't appear to be going your way. You understand that appearances are just that. They are the shadow, not the substance. The substance is your consciousness, your inner assumption. Remember, the time it takes for your assumption to become your physical reality is proportional to the naturalness of the state. This is why it's so important to make your imaginal acts as vivid and real as possible. The more real it feels to you, the more quickly it will manifest in your outer world. Now let's address another important aspect of this practice: detachment. While it may seem contradictory, Being confident that you will get everything in life also involves a degree of detachment from the outcome. This doesn't mean you don't care about the result. Rather, it means that you trust in the law so completely that you don't feel the need to constantly check for signs of its working. Think about it this way. When you order something online, you don't spend every moment wondering if it will arrive. You place the order and then you go about your life confident that it will be delivered. This is the kind of detachment I'm talking about. You place your order with the universe through your assumption, and then you relax, knowing it must come to pass. This detachment also allows you to stay open to the infinite wisdom of your subconscious mind. Sometimes, what manifests may be even better than what you initially imagined. By staying detached from the specific form of your desire, you allow the law to work in ways that may surprise and delight you. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be grappling with, the concept of worthiness. Some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I be confident of getting everything when I don't feel worthy? My dear friends, listen closely to this truth. You are already worthy. Your worthiness is not something you need to earn or prove. It is your birthright as a child of God. The feeling of unworthiness is simply a state, an assumption you have accepted about yourself. And like any state, it can be changed. How? By assuming a new state of worthiness. By living from the end as a person who knows their infinite worth and value. Remember, you are not a mere mortal trying to appease some external deity. You are God in action, the operant power in your world. The Bible tells us, I and my Father are one. This is not blasphemy. It is the highest truth. When you truly understand and embody this truth, confidence in getting everything you desire becomes your natural state of being. Now let's talk about the role of gratitude in this process. Gratitude is not just a nice sentiment. It is a powerful creative force. When you are grateful for what you have, even before it manifests in your physical reality, you are aligning yourself with the frequency of abundance. You are telling the universe, yes, I'm ready to receive more. But here's the key. Your gratitude must be genuine. It's not about pretending to be grateful for things you don't really appreciate. It's about finding genuine reasons to be thankful even in your current circumstances. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you'll find that more and more things come into your life for which to be grateful. This brings us to another important point. The power of your words. The Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue. Your words are a direct reflection of your assumptions. They are declarations to the universe of what you believe to be true. Therefore, be mindful of your speech. Speak as though you already have everything you desire. Let your words reflect the state of the wish fulfilled. For instance, instead of saying, I hope to be successful someday, say, I am successful. Instead of saying, I wish I had more money, say, I am abundantly prosperous. Your words should always align with your desired state, not your current circumstances. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of emotions in this process. Emotions are incredibly powerful. They are the fuel that gives life to your imaginal acts. When you combine vivid imagination with strong, positive emotion, you create an irresistible force that must manifest in your reality. However, it's important to understand that the emotion you're aiming for is not excitement or anticipation. These emotions imply that you don't yet have what you desire. Instead, aim for the calm satisfaction of knowing that your desire is already yours. Feel the relief, the peace, the quiet joy of having your wish fulfilled. This ties into another crucial aspect of being confident. You will get everything in life, living in the state of the wish fulfilled. This means that you don't just imagine your desire for a few minutes a day and then go back to your old patterns of thought and behavior. Instead, you strive to embody the person who already has everything they desire. How would you think, feel, and act if you already had everything you wanted? How would you carry yourself? What would your daily routines look like? As you begin to live from this state, you'll find that your outer world naturally conforms to match your inner state of being. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be experiencing as you embark on this journey, the bridging of the gap. This is the period between when you start assuming your new state and when it fully manifests in your physical reality. This can often be a challenging time, as your senses may be telling you one thing while you're trying to assume another. During this time, it's crucial to remember that your senses only show you the effects of your past assumptions. They do not dictate your future. Your job during this bridging period is to persist in your new assumption, regardless of what your senses are telling you. This is where your faith is tested and strengthened. Think of it like this. When you decide to get in shape, you don't see results immediately. There's a period where you're putting in the work at the gym, eating right, but your body hasn't visibly changed yet. But if you persist, eventually your outer form catches up with your inner efforts. The same is true with your imaginative work. This brings us to another important point. The concept of divine timing. Sometimes your desires may manifest quickly. Other times it may take longer than you expected. Trust that there is a divine wisdom at work, orchestrating events in perfect timing for your highest good. Your job is not to try to force or rush the manifestation. Your job is simply to persist in your assumption, to live from the end and to trust in the perfect unfolding of the law. Remember, the vision has its own appointed hour. It ripens, it will flower. If it be long, then wait, for it is sure and will not be late. Now, let's talk about something that many of you may be struggling. Letting go of the old story. You see, for your new assumption to take root and flourish, you must be willing to let go of your old beliefs and narratives about yourself and your life. This can be challenging, especially if you've held onto these beliefs for a long time. But remember, your old story, no matter how familiar it may be, is just that, a story. It's a series of assumptions you've made about yourself and your world. And just as you created that story, you have the power to create a new one. This process of letting go is not about fighting against your old beliefs or trying to forcefully push them away. That kind of resistance only gives them more power. Instead, it's about gently but persistently turning your attention away from the old story and towards your new assumption. Every time you catch yourself falling into old patterns of thought or behavior, simply remind yourself that's the old story. It's no longer relevant to who I am becoming. Then, consciously shift your focus back to your new assumption, your new story. This practice of mental diet is crucial. Just as you are careful about what you put into your physical body, be mindful of what you're feeding your mind. Guard the portals of your mind. Be selective about the thoughts you entertain, the conversations you engage in, the media you consume. Everything should align with and support your new assumption. Now, I want to address something that many of you may be experiencing as you begin to apply these principles. The concept of revision. Revision is a powerful technique that allows you to rewrite your past and shape your present and future. The idea is simple yet profound. If you can change your memory of an event, you change its impact on your life. You see, your past only exists in your memory. And memory, like imagination, is a function of consciousness. Therefore, you have the power to revise your memories, to reimagine past events in a way that serves your present desires and future goals. This doesn't mean denying what happened. It means reinterpreting events in a way that empowers you rather than limits you. For instance, if you have a memory of failure or rejection that's holding you back, you can revise that memory. Reimagine the scene with a different outcome. See yourself succeeding, being accepted, thriving. As you practice revision, you'll find that not only does it change your relationship to your past, but it also shifts your present reality and opens up new possibilities for your future. This is because you're literally rewriting the story of your life. And as we've established, your story shapes your reality. Now let's talk about the importance of persistence. Being confident that you will get everything in life requires unwavering persistence in your assumption. This doesn't mean you never have doubts or moments of weakness. It means that despite these moments, you always return to your assumption. Think of it like learning to ride a bicycle. At first you may wobble and fall, but you get back up and try again. Eventually, maintaining balance becomes second nature. The same is true with your assumptions. At first, it may feel unnatural to assume a state that's different from your current reality. But with practice, it becomes easier and more natural. Remember, the law is always working. It doesn't turn on and off based on your moods or temporary lapses in faith. As long as you return to your assumption and persist in it, the law will bring it to pass. This brings us to another crucial point: the importance of living in the present moment. While it's necessary to imagine and feel your desired future, it's equally important to be fully present in your current reality. Why? Because the present moment is where your power lies. It's the point of creation, the only place where you can make choices and take action. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring your goals or desires. It means being fully engaged with your life as it is now, while simultaneously holding the consciousness of your desire fulfilled. This balance allows you to appreciate and make the most of your current circumstances while confidently moving towards your desired reality. As we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize a fundamental truth. The confidence that you will get everything in life comes from knowing who you really are. You are not a limited, mortal being subject to the whims of an external world. You are a divine, infinite being, creating your reality through your consciousness. When you truly grasp this truth, when you fully embody it, confidence becomes your natural state. You no longer need to strive or struggle to achieve your desires. You simply assume the state of the wish fulfilled, knowing that it must manifest in your physical reality. My dear friends, as you leave here today, I urge you to begin living from this new understanding. Choose an aspect of your life where you desire change. Create a scene that implies this change has already occurred. Enter into that scene with all your senses. Feel the reality of it. Then carry that feeling with you throughout your day. Watch how your perception shifts. Notice how opportunities aligned with your desire begin to present themselves. Pay attention to the subtle changes in your relationships, your circumstances, your entire world. Remember, the outer world is constantly conforming to your inner assumptions. As you maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, your reality has no choice but to reflect this back to you. Be patient with yourself in this process. Like any new skill, it takes practice. There may be times when you slip back into old patterns of thought. When this happens, gently but firmly bring your attention back to your desired state. Persist, and above all, have faith. Faith not in some external power, but in the creative power of your own wonderful human imagination. Trust in the law that states whatever you assume and feel to be true must and will objectify itself in your world. Go forth now and live from the end. Act as though you already have everything you desire. Feel the joy, the fulfillment, the gratitude of having all that you want. And watch in wonder as your world transforms to match your inner state. Remember, you are the operant power in your world. You are the author of your life story. Write it beautifully, live it fully, and watch as your dreams unfold into your living reality. Thank you. And may your imagination be filled with the grandest visions of your ideal life. For as you imagine and feel it to be real, so it must become. In closing, my dear friends, I want to leave you with this final thought. The journey you're embarking on, the journey of conscious creation, is the most important work you will ever do. It is nothing less than the discovery and expression of your true divine nature. As you practice these principles, as you live from the state of the wish fulfilled, you're not just changing your external circumstances, you're evolving your consciousness. You're expanding your awareness of who you truly are, what you're capable of creating. This work requires courage. It requires faith. It requires persistence. But the rewards are beyond anything you can currently imagine. For when you master the art of conscious creation, when you fully embody the truth that you are the operant power in your world, you step into a life of true freedom, joy, and limitless possibility. So go forth with confidence, my friends. Know that you have within you everything you need to create the life of your dreams. Trust in the law, persist in your assumptions, and watch as miracles unfold in your life. Remember, the world is your mirror, faithfully reflecting back to you your innermost assumptions and beliefs. As you change your inner world, your outer world must change to match it. This is the promise and the power of the law. Be bold in your imagining. Dream big. Assume states that may seem impossible from your current standpoint, for nothing is impossible to the power that resides within you. And as you walk this path, as you begin to see the fruits of your imaginative work manifesting in your reality, share this knowledge with others. Help them to awaken to their own divine nature, to their own creative power. For as more and more individuals awaken to this truth, as more and more people begin to consciously create their reality, we move closer to a world of harmony, abundance, and joy for all. This, my friends, is the great work we are all called to do. This is the true purpose of our existence: to awaken to our divine nature and to create a world that reflects the highest and best within us. So go now with confidence, with faith, with persistence. Know that you will get everything in life, for you are the creator of your reality. The power is yours. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, and watch as miracles unfold in your life and in the world around you. Thank you, and may your journey be filled with wonder, joy, and the thrill of conscious creation. For you are the operant power. Just begin by understanding a fundamental truth. Your feelings are not a reaction to the world around you, but rather they are the cause of the world you experience. This may sound strange to those of you who have been taught that your emotions are simply responses to external events. But I tell you, it is the other way around. Your emotions, your inner states, are the very substance from which your external reality is formed. Think of it this way. The world you see around you is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of being. Just as a projector casts images onto a screen, your consciousness projects your inner states onto the screen of space and time. And just as changing the film in a projector changes the images on the screen, changing your inner state changes the world you experience. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, surely you can't deny the reality of the challenges I'm facing. How can I feel good when I've lost my job? Or when I'm facing a serious illness? Or when my relationships are in turmoil? And to this I ask you to deny the existence of your current circumstances. I ask you to deny their power over your inner state. You see, your circumstances, no matter how dire they may seem, have no inherent power to make you feel anything. Your feelings are not determined by what happens to you, but by your interpretation of what happens. And this interpretation, this meaning you give to events, is entirely within your control. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Imagine two people who have just lost their jobs. One falls into despair, feeling hopeless and defeated. The other feels excited, seeing this as an opportunity for a new beginning, a chance to pursue a long-held dream. Same external event, vastly different emotional responses. What makes the difference? It's not the event itself, but the meaning each person assigns to it. Now you might be thinking, but surely some events are inherently negative. Surely some circumstances are objectively bad. And to this I say, there is no objective reality outside of your consciousness. What you call reality is simply a reflection of your assumptions, your beliefs, your habitual thought patterns. This is not to say that challenging circumstances don't exist. They do. But their power to affect your emotional state is entirely dependent on your choice to give them that power. You always have the ability to choose your response, to choose how you will feel regardless of external conditions. But why is this so important? Why should you strive to feel good when everything seems to be going wrong? The answer lies in the creative power of your emotions. Your feelings are not just responses to your world. They are the very substance from which your world is created. When you consistently feel good, when you maintain a positive emotional state regardless of external circumstances, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You're tuning your consciousness to the frequency of your desires, rather than the frequency of your current circumstances. Think of it like this. Your emotions are like a radio tuner. When you feel negative emotions, fear, anxiety, despair, you're tuning into the frequency of lack, of limitation, of things going wrong. But when you choose to feel good, feel positive emotions regardless of circumstances, you're tuning into the frequency of abundance, of possibility, of things going right. And here's the key. The universe can only give you more of what you're tuned into. If you're tuned into the frequency of lack and limitation, that's what you'll continue to experience. But if you tune into the frequency of abundance and possibility, that's what will begin to manifest in your life. This is why it's so crucial to remember to feel good, especially when everything else seems to be going wrong. Because in those moments, when it's most challenging to feel good, that's when it's most important. That's when you have the greatest opportunity to shift your reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this just putting on a happy face and pretending everything is fine when it's not? And to this I say, this is not about pretending or faking positive emotions. This is about understanding the true nature of reality and your role as a creator. You see, when you truly understand that your inner state is the cause, not the effect of your external reality, feeling good becomes the most logical, the most practical thing you can do. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing that the solution to any problem, the path to any desire. Let me give you another example to illustrate this point. Imagine you're in a dark room fumbling around, trying to find the light switch. The longer you fumble in the dark, the more frustrated you become. The more things you bump into, the more chaos you create. But the moment you find the switch and turn on the light, everything changes. Suddenly, you can see clearly. You can navigate easily. You can put everything in order. Your emotional state is like that light switch. When you're in a negative emotional state, you're fumbling in the dark. You can't see solutions. You can't find opportunities. You create more chaos and confusion. But when you shift to a positive emotional state, when you remember to feel good, it's like turning on the light. Suddenly you can see clearly. Solutions become apparent. Opportunities reveal themselves. Order replaces chaos. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but Neville, how can I possibly feel good when I'm in the midst of real problems, real challenges? And this is a valid question. It's easy to feel good when everything is going well. The real test, the real opportunity for growth and transformation comes when you can maintain a positive emotional state in the face of adversity. So how do you do this? How do you remember to feel good when everything else seems to be going wrong? The key lies in your imagination. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. It is, in fact, the very workshop in which you create your reality. When circumstances seem dire, when problems seem insurmountable, that is the moment to turn to your imagination. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine a reality where your problems are solved, where your desires are fulfilled. Feel the relief, the joy, the excitement of that reality. Let those feelings fill your entire being. Now, some of you might be thinking, but isn't this just fantasy? Isn't this just escapism? And to this I say, your imagination is not a place to escape reality. Your imagination is the very place where reality is created. You see, what you imagine with feeling, what you experience vividly in your mind's eye, is not separate from reality. It is reality in its nascent state. It is reality not yet manifested in the world of physical senses, but no less real for that. In fact, it is more real because it is the cause, of which your physical reality is merely the... When you imagine a better reality, when you feel the emotions associated with that reality, you are not engaging in idle fantasy. You are engaging in the most powerful, the most practical act of creation. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality you wish to experience. And your subconscious mind, which knows no difference between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced, begins immediately to bring about the conditions and circumstances that match your imagined reality. This is why it's so crucial to remember to feel good, especially when external circumstances seem to be at their worst. Because in those moments when you choose to feel good despite appearances, you are exercising your true power as a creator. You are asserting your dominion over your reality. Now let's address another common concern. Some of you might be thinking, but Neville, if I feel good when things are going wrong, aren't I just deluding myself? Aren't I ignoring reality? And to this I sigh. What is reality? Is it only what your physical senses show you at this moment? Or is it the infinite field of possibilities that exists in your imagination? You see, what you call reality is simply the outpicturing of past thoughts and feelings. It's the harvest of seeds you've planted in the past. But at any moment, you have the power to plant new seeds, to imagine and feel a new reality into existence. This doesn't mean you ignore your current circumstances or act irresponsibly. It means you acknowledge your present situation while simultaneously holding in your mind and heart the reality you wish to experience. You live in two worlds at once. The world of physical senses and the world of imagination. Knowing that the latter will eventually replace the former. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you are currently struggling financially. You wouldn't ignore your bills or pretend your debts don't exist. You would continue to manage your current finances responsibly. But at the same time, you would live from the state of financial abundance in your imagination. You would feel the relief of having all your debts paid. You would experience the joy of having more than enough money for all your needs and desires. You would feel the security of an abundant bank account. And you would carry these feelings with you throughout your day, even as you're dealing with your current financial situation. This is what it means to remember to feel good when everything else is going wrong. It's about holding two realities in your mind simultaneously while emotionally residing in the reality you desire to experience. Now, some of you might be wondering, but how long will it take for my imagined reality to manifest? How long do I need to maintain these good feelings before I see results? And to this, I say, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume it to be so. The time it takes to appear in your physical reality depends on many factors, including the naturalness of the desire, your ability to maintain your assumption, and the current conditions of your... But here's the key. Don't concern yourself with the when or the how. Your job is simply to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and to live from that state. The universe will take care of the details. Trust the process. Know that what you have assumed must come to pass by universal law. Remember, creation is finished. All possible realities already exist. When you assume a new state, when you choose to feel good despite challenging circumstances, you're not creating something new. You're simply selecting a different reality from the infinite array of possibilities that already exist. You're tuning your consciousness to a different frequency, so to speak, and thus experiencing a different version of reality. This understanding should free you from anxiety and impatience. There's no need to worry about whether your desire will manifest. It must, for it already exists. Your only task is to align your consciousness with it through your assumption, through your choice to feel good regardless of external circumstances. Now let's talk about an aspect of this principle that many people overlook. When you truly understand that you always get what you want, that the universe is constantly responding to your assumptions and delivering experiences that match them, how can you not feel profound gratitude? Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It's a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful, you're affirming that you already have what you desire. You're living from the state of fulfillment, of abundance, of your wish realized. And in doing so, you're aligning yourself even more powerfully with that reality. So cultivate an attitude of gratitude, especially when circumstances seem challenging. Be thankful not just for what you already have in your physical reality, but for what you've assumed in your imagination. Feel the gratitude of already being, doing, or having what you desire. This gratitude will transform your entire experience of life. You'll find yourself appreciating the present moment more fully, even as you're assuming a different state. You'll see the beauty and perfection in all things, recognizing them as expressions of the same divine consciousness that you are. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people begin to apply these principles. They start to wonder, if feeling good is so important, what if I can't maintain positive emotions all the time? What if I have moments of doubt, fear, or negativity? My friends, it's important to understand that the goal is not to never experience negative emotions. Negative emotions are a natural part of the human experience. The goal is to not dwell in these negative states, to not let them define your overall emotional climate. Think of it like the weather. Just as there will always be some cloudy or rainy days, there will always be some moments of doubt or fear. But just as a few cloudy days don't define the overall climate, a few moments of negativity don't define your overall emotional state. The key is to not resist these negative emotions when they arise, but to acknowledge them, accept them, and then choose to shift back to a positive state. Remember, you always have the power to choose your emotional state, regardless of circumstances. One powerful way to shift your emotional state is through the use of affirmations. But not just any affirmations that you feel to be true. You see, the power of an affirmation lies not in the words themselves, but in the feeling behind the words. For example, if you're facing financial difficulties, simply repeating "I am wealthy" might feel false and create inner conflict. Instead, you might affirm, "I am open to financial abundance." All money flows to me easily and frequently. Choose affirmations that feel true to you, that create a sense of possibility and excitement when you say. Another powerful technique for maintaining a positive emotional state is visualization. Spend time each day visualizing your desired reality in vivid detail. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. As you do this, pay attention to the feelings that arise. Let yourself fully experience the joy, the excitement, the relief of having your desire fulfilled. These feelings are the bridge between your current reality and your desired reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do something to bring about the changes we desire? And to this I say, of course, action is important, but it's not the kind of action most people think of. You see, most people believe they need to take action to make things happen. They believe they need to struggle, to strive, to force things into being. But this kind of action often comes from a place of lack, of fear, of trying to fix something that's perceived as wrong. The kind of action I'm talking about is inspired action. It's action that flows naturally from your assumed state. When you're consistently feeling good, when you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find yourself naturally taking actions that align with that state. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, effortless, even joyful. You'll find opportunities presenting themselves to you. You'll have intuitive flashes of insight. You'll be in the right place at the right time. This is because when you're in alignment with your desire, when you're feeling good despite challenging circumstances, you're in harmony with the creative power of the universe. You're allowing that power to work through you, guiding your actions and orchestrating events in ways that you could never plan or force. Now let's address another common concern. Some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about other people? What if my ability to feel good is dependent on how others treat me or what they do? And to this I say, no one and nothing outside of you has the power to determine your emotional state. You see, other people, like everything else in your reality, are simply playing the parts that you've assigned to them through your assumptions. If you assume that your happiness depends on others, then that will be your experience. But if you assume that your emotional state is entirely within your control, then that will be your reality. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to others or that you don't care about your relationships. It means you take responsibility for your own emotional state, regardless of how others behave. It means you choose to feel good, to maintain a positive emotional state, regardless of what others say or do. And here's the beautiful thing. When you do this, when you maintain your positive state, regardless of others' behavior, you'll find that others begin to reflect that state back to you. Remember, the outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. As you change, your experience of others will change too. Now let's talk about persistence. Remembering to feel good when everything seems to be going wrong is not always easy. It requires persistence, practice, and patience. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns of thought and emotion. There will be times when circumstances seem so challenging that it feels impossible to maintain a positive state. It's not about being perfect. It's about consistently returning to your desired state, no matter how many times you slip. It's about making the choice again and again to feel good despite appearances. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. At first it feels awkward. You make mistakes. It doesn't sound good. But with persistent practice, it becomes more natural. The movements become fluid. The music begins to flow. And one day you realize you're playing beautifully without even thinking about it. The same is true with maintaining a positive emotional state. At first, it might feel forced or unnatural. You might find yourself slipping back into negative states frequently. But with persistent practice, it becomes easier. It becomes more natural. And eventually, it becomes your default state. Now I want to address something that often comes up as people begin to apply these principles. They start to worry about being selfish or uncaring if they focus on feeling good when others around them are struggling. But I assure you, maintaining your positive state is the most loving, the most compassionate thing you can do. You see, when you choose to feel good, regardless of circumstances, you become a beacon of light in a world that often seems dark. You become a living example of the power of consciousness to transform reality. You inspire others not through preaching or lecturing, but through your very being. Moreover, when you maintain a positive state, you're in a much better position to help others. Think about it. Can a drowning person save another drowning person? You need to be standing on solid ground, or better yet, in a boat, to be able to throw a lifeline to someone who's struggling. In the same way, when you're mired in negative emotions, when you're overwhelmed by challenging circumstances, you're in no position to truly help others. But when you're grounded in a positive state, when you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you have the stability, the clarity, and the resources to make a real difference in others' lives. Remember, too, that your state of consciousness affects not just your own experience, but the collective consciousness of humanity. Every time you choose to feel good despite challenging circumstances, you're elevating the entire human family. You're adding your light to the sum of light, making it easier for others to find their way out of darkness. As we come to the close of our discussion, I want to leave you with this final thought. Remembering to feel good when everything else is going wrong is not just a technique for manifesting your desires. It's a way of life. It's a recognition of your true nature as a divine being, as a creator of your reality. When you consistently choose to feel good, regardless of external circumstances, you're declaring your independence from the world of effects. You're asserting your true power as a cause. You're aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe itself. This is the great secret, the great truth that all the mystics and sages throughout history have pointed to. Your emotional state, your inner world, is the source of your entire life experience. As you master your inner world, as you learn to consistently feel good despite appearances, you become the master of your destiny. My dear friends, I urge you, remember to feel good, especially when everything else seems to be going wrong. For in those moments when it's most challenging to maintain a positive state, that's when it's most crucial. That's when you have the greatest opportunity to transform your life and to contribute to transformation in all world. Go forth now, armed with this knowledge, and put it into practice. Choose to feel good no matter what. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. And watch as the world around you transforms to match your inner state. For this is the true art of living, the true science of creation. This is your birthright as a divine being. Claim it, live it. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to close your eyes for a moment. Feel the beating of your heart, the rhythm of your breath, and know that within you lies the infinite power of creation. For you are not merely a being in this world, but you are the very essence of creation itself, made manifest in human form. Now let us delve into the depths of this profound truth. Never give up. These words may seem simple, yet they carry the weight of universes. For in the act of persistence, in the unwavering faith in your desires, you are tapping into the very source of all creation. You see, my dear friends, the world you perceive around you is nothing but a reflection of your inner state. It is a mirror faithfully showing you the contents of your consciousness. When you choose to never give up, you are making a declaration to the universe. You are stating with unwavering conviction that your desire is not merely a fleeting fancy, but a reality that must and will come to pass. This declaration, this assumption of the wish fulfilled, is the very essence of creation. But let us pause for a moment and consider the second part of our play. Great things take time. Oh, how often we forget this fundamental truth. In our world of instant gratification, we have become accustomed to immediate results. But the greatest manifestations, the most profound transformations, often require a gestation period. Consider the mighty oak tree. Does it spring forth from the acorn overnight? No. It takes years, decades even, to reach its full majesty. Yet within that tiny acorn lies the complete blueprint of the oak tree. It contains within it the pattern of perfection, waiting to unfold in divine timing. You, my dear listeners, are like that acorn. Within you lies the pattern of perfection for all that you desire. Your dreams, your aspirations, your deepest longings, they're not external to you. They are you, in a state of potential waiting to be realized. When you plant a seed in the ground, do you dig it up every day to check its progress? Of course not. You trust in the unseen processes of nature. You have faith that, given the right conditions, that seed will germinate, push through the soil, and eventually blossom into its full potential. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your imagination, you must have faith in the unseen processes of creation. You must trust that your assumption, your unwavering belief in the reality of your desire, is causing unseen forces to move on your behalf. This is where many falter. They give up too soon, not realizing that their desire is in the process of manifestation. They lose faith because they cannot see immediate results in their external world. If I tell you this external world is the last place where your manifestation will appear. It first takes form in the realm of imagination, in the world of consciousness. Let me share with you a profound truth. There is no such thing as unanswered prayer. Every seed you plant in your imagination must bear fruit. It is the law. But the fruition may not always come in the way or the time you expect. This is where patience and persistence come into play. Imagine for a moment that you are standing before a locked door. This door represents your desire, your goal, your dream. Now you have been given a ring of keys, and you know with certainty that one of these keys will unlock the door. What do? You try one key, and if it doesn't work immediately, throw away the entire ring in frustration. Of course not. You persist. You try each key one by one with the unwavering faith that the right key exists. This, my friends, is the essence of never giving up. It is the knowledge that your desire must manifest, coupled with the patience to allow it to unfold in divine timing. But let us delve deeper into this concept of time. In the world of Caesar, in the realm of manifestation, time appears linear. We perceive events as occurring in a sequence, one after the other. But in the realm of imagination, in the world of consciousness, time is fluid. Past, present, and future exist simultaneously. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end, as if your desire has already manifested, you are transcending time. You are bringing the future into the present moment. This is the secret of manifestation that few truly understand. You see, your external world is always catching up to your internal assumptions. It is always conforming to the contents of your consciousness. When you persistently assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are creating a new pattern in consciousness. And the external world, bound by law, must reconstruct itself to match this new pattern. This reconstruction takes time in the world of Caesar. But in the world of imagination, it is instantaneous. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. Your task then becomes to persist in this assumption, to never give up on the reality of your desire. even when your senses may tell you otherwise. Consider the story of the prophet Elijah. He prayed for rain during a severe drought. After praying, he sent his servant to look for signs of rain. The servant returned, reporting no sign. But Elijah persisted. He sent the servant 7 times before a small cloud appeared on the horizon. From this tiny seed of manifestation, a mighty rainstorm was born. This story beautifully illustrates our theme. Elijah never gave up. He persisted in his assumption that rain would come, even when there was no external evidence to support his belief. And great things, in this case, the end of a drought. You, my dear friends, are all prophets. You're all creators. Your every assumption is a prophecy that must be fulfilled. Your every imaginal act is a seed that must bear fruit. The question is not whether your desires will manifest, but whether you will persist in your assumption long enough to see them through to fruition. Now let us address a common misconception. Many believe that to never give up means to struggle, to fight against adversity. But I tell you this, true persistence is not a battle against external circumstances. It is a steadfast adherence to your internal assumption. When you truly understand that your external world is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state, you realize that there is nothing to fight against. Your task is not to change the external world through force of will, but to change your inner world through the power of imagination. This is why great things take time. It takes time for your new assumption to become your dominant state. It takes time for your old beliefs, your old patterns of thinking to fall away. It takes time for your external world to reconstruct itself to match your new internal reality. But make no mistake, this reconstruction is inevitable. It is law. Just as the acorn must become an oak tree, your assumption must become your reality. The only variable is time, and even that is under your control. You see, time is a construct of consciousness. When you are fully immersed in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you are living from the end, time ceases to exist. In that state of pure assumption, your desire is not something to be achieved in the future. It is a present fact. This is the state from which miracles are born. This is the state of consciousness that can compress time, that can bring about manifestations with a speed that defies logic. But to reach this state, to maintain this state, requires persistence. It requires that you never give up on the reality of your assumption, no matter what your senses may tell you. Let me share with you a powerful technique to aid you in this persistence. It is the technique of revision. At the end of each day, replay the events of your day in your imagination, but do not replay them as they occurred. Revise them. See them unfolding in a way that aligns with your desire, with your assumption of the wish fulfilled. If you encountered obstacles, imagine them dissolving effortlessly. If you experience setbacks, imagine them transformed into stepping stones. This practice of division is not mere fantasy or wishful thinking. It is a powerful act of creation. For remember, your imagination is not bound by time. When you revise the events of your day, you are literally rewriting your past, and in doing so, altering the trajectory of your future. This practice of revision also serves another crucial purpose. It reinforces your persistence. It strengthens your ability to never give up. For in the act of revision, you are declaring to your subconscious mind that you refuse to accept any reality that does not align with your desire. You are training your mind to automatically reject and revise any experience that contradicts your assumption of the wish fulfilled. Let us assess another aspect of our theme. The concept of great things. What constitutes a great thing? Is it merely material success? Is it fame or recognition? I tell you this, true greatness lies not in external achievements, but in the realization of your divine nature. The greatest thing you can achieve is the full realization that you are God made manifest, that the power of creation lies within you, that your imagination is not merely a faculty for daydreaming, but the very workshop in which you forge your reality. This realization, this awakening to your true nature, is the greatest of all manifestations. And yes, it takes time. It takes persistence. It requires that you never give up on the truth of your divine nature, even when the world may tell you otherwise. But as you persist in this assumption, as you live from the state of your divine self, you will find that all other desires, all other manifestations, flow effortlessly from this state. For when you know yourself as the source of all creation, what is there that you cannot achieve? This, my dear friends, is the true meaning of never giving up. It is not about gritting your teeth and pushing through adversity. It is about maintaining an unwavering faith in your divine nature, in the power of your imagination to create reality. And yes, great things take time. The full realization of your divine nature, the complete alignment of your external world with your internal assumptions, these are not overnight achievements. They are lifelong journeys of exploration and discovery. But here's the beautiful paradox. While great things take time in the world of Caesar, in the world of imagination, they are instantaneous. The moment you fully assume your divine nature, the moment you completely embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, it is done. The seed is planted, and its fruition is assured. Your task then becomes to tend to this seed, to water it with your attention, to nourish it with your unwavering faith. And as you do so, you will find that time itself begins to bend to your will. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What once appeared distant draws near. Let me share with you a powerful practice to aid you in this journey. It is the practice of sats, state akin to sleep. As you lie in bed each night, allowing your body to relax and your mind to quiet, enter into a scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make this scene as vivid and as real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already realized. Here's the crucial part. Loop this scene over and over in your imagination until it takes on the tones of reality, until it feels more real than your physical surroundings. As you fall asleep in this state, you are imprinting this reality on your subconscious mind. You are planting the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your imagination. This practice, performed nightly with unwavering persistence, is one of the most powerful tools in the art of manifestation. For in that state between waking and sleeping, the barrier between your conscious and subconscious mind is at its thinnest. Your assumptions, your imaginal acts, sink deeply into the subconscious, where they can take root and grow. But remember, this practice is not about forcing or straining. It is about allowing. It is about surrendering to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is about becoming so immersed in the reality of your desire that any other reality becomes unthinkable. As you persist in this practice, you will find that your days begin to conform to your nightly imaginal acts. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. Circumstances will align in ways you could never have planned. For you're not merely imagining a new future. You're creating it, night by night, in the workshop of your imagination. Now let's address a question that may have arisen in your minds. If great things take time, how do we reconcile this with the teaching that our desires can manifest instantly in imagination? The answer lies in understanding the dual nature of creation. In the world of imagination, in the realm of consciousness, your creation is indeed instantaneous. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. But the externalization of this assumption, its manifestation in the world of Caesar, often requires a bridge of incidents. This bridge of incidents is the series of events that must occur to bring your desire into physical reality. It is the acorn growing into the oak tree. It is the seed germinating beneath the soil before it breaks through to the soil. Your task is not to construct this bridge of incidents through your own effort or planning. Your task is simply to maintain your assumption to live from the end and to allow the infinite intelligence of your subconscious mind to construct this bridge for you. This is where many falter. They become anxious about the how of their manifestation. They try to force events, to make things happen through their own effort. But I tell you this, the how is not your concern. Your only concern is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. As you maintain this assumption, as you never give up on the reality of your desire, you will find that the bridge of incidents constructs itself. Events will unfold in ways you could never have anticipated. People will enter your life at precisely the right moment. Opportunities will present themselves as if by divine orchestration. And indeed, it is divine orchestration. For remember, you are God made manifest. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You are tapping into the same power that spins galaxies and orchestrates the dance of atoms. This is why patience is so crucial in the art of manifestation. Patience is not passive waiting. It is active faith. It is the calm assurance that your desire must manifest, coupled with the wisdom to allow it to unfold in divine timing. When you truly understand this, when you fully embody this truth, you will find that the concept of giving up becomes meaningless. For how can you give up on something that you know with absolute certainty is already yours? How can you abandon a desire that you have already realized in your imagination? This, my dear friends, is the state of mind from which miracles are born. It is the state of unwavering faith, of absolute knowing. It is the state where time loses its linear nature, where past, present, and future merge into an eternal now. In this state, great things do not take time. They are timeless. They exist simultaneously as seed and fruit, as potential and realization. Your task is simply to align yourself with this timeless reality. As you do this, as you persist in this divine assumption, you will find that your external world has no choice but to conform. For it is law. Your inner assumption must be made manifest. Your imaginal acts must be realized in flesh. But remember, this manifestation often unfolds in ways that your rational mind could never have conceived. This is why it's crucial to release all attachment to the how of your manifestation. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. The how will take care of itself. This release of the how is not a passive surrender. It is an active trust in the wisdom of your subconscious mind, in the infinite intelligence of the universe. It is the recognition that your conscious mind, with its limited perspective, cannot possibly orchestrate the infinite complexities required to bring your desire into manifestation. Instead, when you persist in your assumption, when you never give up on the reality of your desire, you are engaging the infinite power of your subconscious mind. You are setting in motion forces beyond your conscious comprehension. You are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. This alignment, this persistence in assumption, is the true meaning of faith. It is not blind belief in an external power. It is absolute knowing of your own divine nature. It is the unwavering conviction that what you have imagined must and will be made manifest. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in your divine assumption, you will find that time itself begins to bend to your will. What once seemed like an insurmountable obstacle becomes a stepping stone. What appeared to be a devastating setback reveals itself as a crucial turning point. You see, from the perspective of your divine self, there are no obstacles. There are no setbacks. There are only opportunities for growth, only stepping stones on the path to the realization of your desire. This shift in perspective is crucial. It is the difference between giving up in the face of adversity and persisting in your assumption, regardless of external circumstances. It is the difference between being a victim of circumstance and being the conscious creator of your reality. As you embrace this perspective, as you view all events through the lens of your divine assumption, you will find that your external world begins to mirror your internal state with increasing fidelity. The gap between your imaginal acts and their physical manifestation will narrow. The bridge of incidents will construct itself with increasing speed and efficiency. But remember, even as you witness this acceleration, even as you marvel at the synchronicities and coincidences that begin to fill your life, never lose sight of the fundamental truth. In imagination, in the realm of consciousness, your desire is already fulfilled, is already a present fact. Your persistence, your refusal to give up, is not about making something happen in the future. It is about aligning yourself with a present reality that already exists in the realm of potential. It is about bringing that potential into manifestation through the power of your assumption. This is why great things take time, yet are also timeless. In the world of Caesar, in the realm of physical manifestation, there is often a gap between the planting of the seed and the harvesting of the fruit. But in the world of imagination, in the realm of consciousness, the seed and the fruit exist simultaneously. Your task is to bridge these two worlds, to live so fully in the assumption of the wish fulfilled that the world of Caesar has no choice, but to reconstruct itself to match your internal reality. This, my dear friends, is the art and science of manifestation. It is the alchemical process by which thought is transformed into thing, by which imagination becomes reality. And the key to this process, the catalyst that drives this transformation, is your persistence. Your refusal to give up on the reality of your assumption, no matter what your senses may tell you. As you persist in this assumption, as you never give up on the reality of your desire, you will find that the very fabric of your reality begins to shift. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will present themselves as if by magic. The universe itself will seem to conspire to bring your desire into manifestation. But remember, this is not magic in the sense of something supernatural or external to you. It is the natural, inevitable result of aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. It is the outward expression of your inner assumption. This is why it's crucial to guard your mental diet, to be vigilant about the thoughts you entertain, the assumptions you hold. For every thought, every assumption is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And every seed must bear fruit. When you truly understand this, when you fully embody this truth, you will find that the concept of giving up becomes not just unthinkable, but impossible. For how can you give up on something that you know with absolute certainty is already yours? How can you abandon a desire that you have already realized in your imagination? This is the state of mind from which miracles are born. It is the state of unwavering faith, of absolute knowing. It is the state where time loses a near nature, where past, present, and future merge into an eternal now. In this state, great things do not take time. They are timeless. They exist simultaneously as seed and fruit, as potential and realization. Your task is simply to align yourself with this timeless reality, to live from the end. As you do this, as you persist in this divine assumption, you will find that your external world has no choice but to conform. For it is law. Your inner assumption must be made manifest. Your imaginal acts must be realized in flesh. But remember, this manifestation often unfolds in ways that your rational mind could never have conceived. This is why it's crucial to release all attachment to the how of your manifestation. Your only task is to persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. The how will take care of itself. This release of the how is not a passive surrender. It is an active trust in the wisdom of your subconscious mind, in the infinite intelligence of the universe. It is the recognition that your conscious mind, with its limited perspective, cannot possibly orchestrate the infinite complexities required to bring your desire into manifestation. Instead, when you persist in your assumption, when you never give up on the reality of your desire, you are engaging the infinite power of your subconscious mind. You are setting in motion forces beyond your conscious comprehension. You are aligning yourself with the very power that creates worlds. This alignment, this persistence in assumption is the true meaning of faith. It is not blind belief in an external power. It is absolute knowing of your own divine nature. It is the unwavering conviction that what you have imagined must and will be made manifest. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in your divine assumption, you will find that time itself begins to bend to your will. What once seemed like an insurmountable obstacle becomes a stepping stone. What appeared to be a devastating setback reveals itself as a crucial turning point. For you see, from the perspective of your divine self, there are no obstacles. There are no setbacks. There are only opportunities for growth, only stepping stones on the path to the realization of your desire. This shift in perspective is crucial. It is the difference between giving up in the face of adversity and persisting in your assumption, regardless of external circumstances. It is the difference between being a victim of circumstance and being the conscious creator of your reality. As you embrace this perspective, as you view all events through the lens of your divine assumption, you will find that your external world begins to mirror your internal state with increasing fidelity. The gap between your imaginal acts and their physical manifestation will narrow. The bridge of incidents will construct itself with increasing speed and efficiency. But remember, even as you witness this acceleration, even as you marvel at the synchronicities and coincidences that begin to fill your life, never lose sight of the fundamental truth. In imagination, in the realm of consciousness, your desire is already fulfilled. It's already a present fact. Your persistence, your refusal to give up, is not about making something happen in the future. It is about aligning yourself with a present reality that already exists in the realm of potential. It is about bringing that potential into manifestation through the power of your assumption. This is why great things take time, yet are also timeless. In the world of Caesar, in the realm of physical manifestation, there's often a gap between the planting of the seed and the harvesting of the fruit. But in the world of imagination, in the realm of consciousness, the seed and the fruit exist. Your task is to bridge these two worlds, to live so fully in the assumption of the wish fulfilled that the world of Caesar has no choice but to reconstruct itself to match your internal reality. This, my dear friends, is the art and science of manifestation. It is the alchemical process by which thought is transformed into thing, by which imagination becomes reality. And the key to this process, the catalyst that drives this transformation, is your persistence. Your refusal to give up on the reality of your assumption, no matter what your senses may tell you. As you persist in this assumption, as you never give up on the reality of your desire, you will find that the very fabric of your reality begins to shift. People will respond to you differently. Opportunities will present themselves as if by magic. The universe itself will seem to conspire to bring your desire into manifestation. But remember, this is not magic in the sense of something supernatural or external to you. It is the natural, inevitable result of aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. It is the outward expression of your inner assumption. This is why it's crucial to guard your mental diet, to be vigilant about the thoughts you entertain, the assumptions you hold. For every thought, every assumption is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind, and every seed must bear fruit. When you truly understand this, when you fully embody this truth, you will find that the concept of giving up becomes not just unthinkable, but impossible. For how can you give up on something that you know with absolute certainty is already yours? How can you abandon a desire that you've already realized in your imagination? The state of absolute conviction, of unwavering faith in the reality of your desire, is the key to manifestation. It is the state from which all creation springs. It is the state of mind that moves mountains, that parts seas, that turns water into wine. But remember, this state is not something you achieve once and then forget about. It is a state that you must cultivate daily, hourly, moment by moment. It is a practice, a discipline, a way of life. This is why the injunction to never give up is so crucial. It is not about gritting your teeth and pushing through adversity. It is about maintaining your assumption, about living from the end, about embodying the feeling of the wish fulfilled, no matter what your external circumstances may suggest. As you persist in this practice, as you refuse to be swayed by appearances, you will find that your faith grows stronger with each passing day. What once required effort becomes effortless. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. This is the true meaning of faith. It is not blind belief, but knowing. It is not hope for a future event, but absolute conviction in a present reality. It is a state of mind that collapses time, that brings the future into the present, that makes the invisible visible. And yes, my dear friends, great things take time. But this time is not a waiting period. It is not a gap to be endured. It is a gestation period, a time of growth and unfoldment. It is the time during which your assumption takes root, grows, and bears fruit. During this time, your task is simple yet profound. To persist in your assumption, to live each day as if your desire were already fulfilled. to embody the state of the wish fulfilled in every thought, every word, every action. As you do this, you will find that time itself begins to lose its hold on you. The future you have imagined will begin to bleed into your present. The person you have assumed yourself to be will become the person you are. This is the miracle of assumption. This is the power of persistence. This is the magic that unfolds when you refuse to give up on your dream, when you hold fast to your vision even in the face of seeming impossibility. Remember, the world you see around you is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. As you change your inner state, as you persist in your new assumption, the outer world has no choice. It is law. It is the way of creation. So never give up, my dear friends. Never abandon your vision. Never let go of your dream. For in your persistence, in your refusal to be swayed by appearances, lies the key to all creation. In your unwavering faith, in the reality of your desire lies the power to move mountains, to part seas, to turn water into wine. Great things do indeed take time. But in the realm of imagination, in the world of consciousness, they are already accomplished. Your task is simply to align yourself with this accomplished fact, to live from this state of fulfillment, to embody the reality of your desire. As you do this, as you persist in this divine assumption, you will find that the world around you begins to shift. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What appeared to be obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones. The very fabric of reality begins to reshape itself to accommodate your new assumption. This, my dear friends, is the true nature of creation. This is the power that lies within each and every one of you. It is the power to shape worlds, to forge realities, to manifest dreams. So go forth with knowledge. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Persist in your divine assumption. Never give up on the reality of your desire. For in your persistence lies the key to all creation. In your unwavering faith lies the power to move mountains. Remember, you are not merely a being in this world. You are the very source of creation itself, made manifest in human form. Your imagination is not a faculty for daydreaming, but the very workshop in which you forge your reality. Use this power wisely. Use it with love. Use it to create a world that reflects the highest and best within you. For as you do so, you are not merely shaping your own reality. You are participating in the ongoing creation of the universe itself. Never give up, my dear friends. Great things indeed take time. But in your persistence, in your unwavering faith, in your refusal to be swayed by appearances lies the power to collapse time, to bring the future into the present. This is your birthright. This is your divine inheritance. This is the power that lies within you, waiting to be claimed, waiting to be expressed. So claim it now. Express it fully. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. Persist in your divine assumption. And watch as the world reshapes itself to match your inner vision. For this is the true art of living. This is the science of deliberate creation. This is the magic that unfolds when you fully embrace your divine nature and refuse to give up on your dreams. Go forth, create, persist, and never ever give up. For in your persistence lies the key to all creation. In your unwavering faith lies the power to move mountains. In your refusal to be swayed by appearances lies the magic that turns dreams into reality. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your stage upon which to enact the grandest version of your highest vision. Never give up on this vision. Great things indeed take time, but in the realm of imagination, in the world of consciousness, they are already accomplished. Live from this accomplishment. Embody this reality. Persist in this assumption. And watch as the world conforms to your vision, as your dreams take shape in the world of form, as the invisible becomes visible. This is the promise of your divine nature. This is the power of your imagination. This is the magic that unfolds when you never give up, when you understand that great things take time, and when you persist in the assumption of the wish fulfilled. Go forth and create, my dear friends. The world is waiting for your vision. The universe is conspiring for your success. All of creation is holding its breath, waiting for you to step into your divine power and manifest your deepest desires. Never give up. Persist in your assumption, live from the end. For in doing so, you are not merely creating your own reality, you are participating in the ongoing creation of the universe itself. This is your destiny. This is your birthright. This is the power that lies within you, waiting to be expressed. Express it fully. Live it completely. And watch as miracles unfold in your life. For you are the miracle. You are the magic. You are the power that moves mountains and parts seas. Never forget this truth. Never give up on this reality. For in your persistence lies the key to all creation. In your unwavering faith lies the power to reshape reality itself. Go forth and create, my dear friends. The world is waiting for your vision. The universe is conspiring for your success. All of creation is holding its breath, waiting for you to step into your divine power and manifest your deepest desires. Never give up. Persist in your assumption. Live from the end, for in doing so, you are not merely creating your own reality. You are participating in the ongoing creation of the universe itself. This is your destiny. This is your birthright. This is the power that lies within you, waiting to be expressed. Express it fully. Live it completely. And watch as miracles unfold in your life. For you are the miracle. You are the magic. You are the power that moves mountains and parts seas. Never forget this truth. Never give up on this reality. For in your persistence lies the key to all creation. In your unwavering faith lies the power to reshape reality itself.
People come and go, and that is one of the deepest truths of life. Nothing in this world is permanent. Every relationship, every encounter, every face that passes through your story is here for a reason, for a season, or for a lesson. Some arrive like the rising sun, bringing warmth, light, and comfort. Others come like storms, shaking the very foundation of your being. But no matter how they appear, each one serves the unfolding of who you are destined to become. Do not hold too tightly to what was never meant to stay. And do not fear when someone departs, for their leaving opens space for something greater to enter. Too often we suffer because we try to hold on to everyone and everything, believing that we need them to complete us. Yet the truth is, you are already whole. You were born complete, lacking nothing, carrying within you the seed of every blessing, the spark of every possibility. When people walk away, they are not taking your destiny with them. For no one can rob you of what belongs to you. The treasure of your life lies within, untouched by the comings and goings of others. Think of the seasons. Summer never weeps when autumn arrives, nor does winter cling desperately to the fading leaves of fall. Nature understands the rhythm of change, the cycle of arrivals and departures. So it is with your life. People will walk in at the appointed time and walk out at the appointed time. Both their presence and their absence are sacred parts of your journey. If you can see this, then instead of despairing, you will bless them as they come and bless them as they go, knowing all things are working in harmony for your highest good. Sometimes the ones you love the most will not stay. Sometimes the ones you least expect will come and change everything. This is not punishment, it is guidance. Life removes what no longer serves your growth and brings in what is aligned with your becoming. It may hurt in the moment, but when you look back, you will see the hand of grace directing every encounter. The tears you cried over who left were watering the soil for who was yet to come. You must understand that the people around you are mirrors. Some reflect your beauty, others your shadows, but all of them reflect you. When someone departs, it is often because their reflection has served its purpose. They showed you what you needed to see, taught you what you needed to learn, and then the scene was complete. To keep them longer than they are meant to stay is to cling to an old lesson, an old chapter, when life is already writing the next. Do not resent those who left, for they gave you a gift, even in their leaving. They showed you that your strength does not depend on their presence. They reminded you that your joy is not built on external things, but on the power that flows within. They made space for you to rise higher, to trust deeper, to step into what is truly yours. Nothing real can ever be lost. What is meant for you cannot walk away, and what walks away was never meant for you. And so release with love. If someone must go, let them go without clinging, without begging, without fear. Trust that life never takes without giving in return. Trust that every ending is a beginning in disguise. Trust that you are not being abandoned, but being guided into alignment with the people who belong in your future. The right souls will always recognize you, and they will stay, not because you forced them, but because it was written. There is no need to chase, no need to hold anyone hostage in your life. Stand firm in who you are, and what is yours will be magnetized to you. When you know your worth, you no longer fear departures, for you understand that the universe always fills empty spaces with something greater. You do not beg for love, for you carry love within you. You do not fear loneliness, for you are never truly alone. The ones who are meant to walk with you will meet you on the path at the appointed hour. They will not need convincing. They will not have to be pursued. They will arrive as naturally as the dawn, and their presence will feel like home. Until then, walk boldly, trusting the journey, knowing that every encounter, whether brief or lifelong, is shaping you, refining you, awakening you. Life is not about holding on to people. Life is about becoming who you are meant to be, and in that becoming, the right people will always remain. Those who depart are simply characters whose roles are complete. Those who stay are the ones whose lines are still being written into your story. And through it all, you remain, the constant, the center, the one unshaken by the ebb and flow of others. People come and go, but you endure, and in you lies the eternal presence of love, strength, and wholeness. People come and go, and yet the essence of who you are remains untouched, unshaken, and eternal. The truth is, life itself is a constant movement of arrivals and departures. Faces appear, hearts connect, paths intertwine, and then, at times, those same connections dissolve, leaving behind memories, lessons, or sometimes only silence. And though it may feel painful to see someone walk away, or confusing when certain relationships fade without explanation, all of it is part of the greater design of your existence. Nothing that is truly meant for you can ever be lost, and nothing that departs from your life takes away your destiny. People are not meant to complete you, for you were never incomplete. They come as mirrors, reflections, teachers, companions on a journey that is ultimately about you awakening to the fullness of yourself. Think of your life as a great play upon a stage. Characters enter, some for a brief moment, some for long and enduring acts, but all of them serve the purpose of the story. If you cling desperately to a character who was only meant to walk across the stage for a single scene, you miss the unfolding of the greater drama. And in that clinging, you create suffering. Yet if you can accept that their role has been fulfilled, if you can release them with gratitude rather than grief, you allow the next chapter to reveal itself. Every encounter is significant, whether it lasts a fleeting second or a lifetime. Each carries within it a spark that contributes to your unfolding. Some come to show you love, others to awaken you to strength, some to test your patience, and some to call forth your forgiveness. None of it is random, all of it is orchestrated for your growth. You must understand that just as the seasons flow effortlessly from one to another, so too does the flow of people in your life. Spring does not mourn the fading of winter, nor does summer resist the coming of autumn. Nature trusts the rhythm of change. So too should you trust that those who depart were meant to depart, and those who remain are meant to remain. To resist this flow is to fight against life itself, but to trust it is to find peace even in the midst of change. For everything is working in harmony with your higher good, even when you cannot yet see the pattern. The pain of losing someone often comes from the illusion that their presence was the source of your happiness. You imagine that when they leave, they take with them a piece of you, a part of your joy, a fragment of your identity, but no one can ever carry away your essence. The treasure of your life is not held in the hands of another, it resides within your own being. When you look deeply, you will see that what you miss most when someone leaves is not them, but the feeling you experienced when you were with them. And that feeling was not theirs to give. It arose within you. If it came from within once, it can arise again, through others, or through your own connection with yourself. You have always been the source. Those who come and go are not robbing you, they are revealing you. They reveal your capacity to love, your ability to endure, your strength to heal, your depth of patience. And when they leave, they are not leaving you empty, they are leaving you fuller than before, enriched with experience, awakened with wisdom. Even those who broke you, even those who betrayed you, even those who wounded you, each of them has contributed to your becoming. They may have opened wounds, but through those wounds you discovered your resilience. They may have walked away, but in their absence you discovered your independence. They may have closed doors, but their leaving created the space for new doors to open. Do not curse the ones who left, for they were fulfilling their role in your story. Do not cling to the ones who remain, for even their presence is not yours to own. See each soul as free, passing through your life as you too pass through theirs. Love them fully when they are here. Release them gracefully when they are gone. For love is not ownership, it is freedom. To love someone truly is to allow them to come and go without fear, without desperation, without control. For those who are truly aligned with you will never need to be forced to stay. They will stay naturally, effortlessly, joyfully, for it is written that they walk with you. Life has a way of removing what no longer serves you, even when you cannot see it. Sometimes people leave abruptly, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully. Yet in time, you will look back and see that their departure was an act of grace. For had they remained, you may have clung to a smaller version of yourself or held onto a comfort that prevented your growth. Their leaving was not the end, but the beginning of something greater. It carved out the space for you to rise higher, to welcome new people, new opportunities, new experiences that could not have entered had you not first been emptied. You are not meant to chase anyone. What belongs to you will find you. What is aligned with you will be drawn to you. You do not need to beg for love is the essence of who you are. You do not need to grasp at companionship, for you are never truly alone. Even in solitude, you are surrounded by the presence of life itself, by the silent companionship of your own eternal being. And from that state of completeness, you attract relationships that mirror your wholeness rather than your lack. When you see yourself as whole, you no longer fear when people leave. You no longer cling with desperation. You no longer beg for scraps of affection. Instead, you stand in your worth, knowing that those who are meant for you will come without struggle, and those who are not meant for you cannot stay, no matter how tightly you hold them. In this trust, you find peace. In this trust, you find freedom. For the right ones will arrive like the dawn, effortlessly, without resistance, and their presence will feel like home. Consider how many times in your past you thought you could not live without someone, and yet here you are. Consider how many times you believed the loss of one relationship was the end, only to discover later it was a doorway into something far greater. What you thought was rejection was redirection. What you thought was abandonment was protection. What you thought was the worst ending was, in truth, the greatest beginning. Time and perspective reveal what in the moment feels unbearable. Trust this process even when you cannot yet see the outcome. The ones who are meant to walk with you will not require you to shrink to keep them. They will not demand you dim your light to make them comfortable. They will not ask you to abandon yourself in order to hold on to them. The ones who belong in your future will celebrate your growth, embrace your becoming, and walk beside you without fear. They will not leave because they were written into your story, not just for a season, but for the journey. And when they appear, you will not need to question their place, for their presence will align so perfectly with your spirit that it will feel inevitable. So release with love those who depart. Let them go with gratitude for the role they played. Do not beg them to return, for if they were meant to remain, they would never have left. Do not close your heart in bitterness, for that only blocks the new from entering. Keep your heart open, even in loss, even in pain, even in uncertainty. For the open heart is the soil in which new love, new friendship, new companionship can grow. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves. You are defined by the constancy of your own being. Long before anyone entered your life, you existed. Long after many have gone, you will still exist. You are the thread that runs through every chapter, the constant presence in your own story. People come and go, but you remain, eternal, unshaken, and whole. And in that truth lies your freedom, your peace, and your power. People come and go, and yet you remain. The faces that pass through your life, the voices that echo for a time, the hands that hold yours for a season and then let go, all of them are part of the flow of existence, a dance of arrivals and departures that no one can control. You may try to cling to some, to hold tightly to those you love, but life itself has a way of reminding you that nothing is fixed, nothing is guaranteed, nothing is permanent. And still, even in the midst of these shifts, you endure, for the essence of who you are does not depend on who stays or who leaves. There is a hidden beauty in the rhythm of comings and goings. Each person who enters your life comes with a gift, a lesson, a reflection of some part of you. Sometimes they bring love that awakens your heart to tenderness you did not know you were capable of. Sometimes they bring challenge, stirring within you strength and resilience that had been lying dormant. Sometimes they bring betrayal, not to destroy you, but to reveal the depth of your power to forgive and to rise above bitterness. None of these encounters are meaningless, even when they are painful. Each one carves something into the fabric of your soul, shaping you into the fullness of who you are meant to be. Think of the tides of the ocean. The waves rush in, kiss the shore, and then retreat. Some stay longer, some are gone in a moment, but the shore is never left empty, for another wave always comes. So it is with people in your life. Some remain, others recede, but always there is a flow. Always there is a new arrival. To fear the retreat is to miss the beauty of the rhythm. To resist the flow is to fight against life itself. But to surrender to it, to trust it, is to live in peace, knowing that nothing real can ever be lost and nothing unreal can ever truly stay. You have felt the sting of loss, the silence that lingers when someone departs, the ache in your chest when familiar laughter is no longer heard. You have questioned why they left, why they could not stay, why the bond you cherished dissolved into absence. But look deeper, and you will see that their leaving did not diminish you. It revealed you. It revealed that your joy was never theirs to give. It arose from within you. It revealed that your worth was never dependent on their presence. It was inherent all along. It revealed that you are stronger than you believed, capable of standing even when the ground beneath you seemed to collapse. You may think you need certain people to complete you, but you are never incomplete. From the very beginning, you carried within yourself the spark of wholeness. Those who come into your life are not there to fill your emptiness. They are there to reflect back to you what you already are. They are mirrors, showing you your love, your pain, your fears, your beauty, your shadows, your light. And when their role is complete, when the reflection has served its purpose, they move on. To hold them longer than they are meant to stay is to cling to an old reflection when life is already preparing to show you a new one. Some people enter to show you the meaning of unconditional love. They remain by your side through storms and sunshine, teaching you faithfulness, showing you what it means to be truly seen and embraced. Others enter only briefly, like comets streaking across your sky, dazzling you with light for a moment and then vanishing into darkness. Both are valuable. Both serve the awakening of your soul. The long presence nurtures you. The brief encounter awakens you. You do not have to judge which is better, for both are necessary parts of your journey. There will be times when you feel abandoned, when the departure of someone you love tears at your heart and leaves you questioning your own worth. But their leaving is not a statement about you. It is not proof that you are unlovable. It is simply the unfolding of the story. A character's role was complete and the scene ended. Another will take their place and the story will move forward. Do not confuse the closing of a chapter with the end of the book. Life is still writing, even when you cannot see the words. It may seem cruel when someone you trusted disappears, when someone you counted on suddenly withdraws their hand, but every absence carries with it a deeper presence. Every void creates space for something new to enter. If one door shuts, another opens, not in time to your impatience, but in alignment with your destiny. What is meant for you cannot walk past you, and what walks past you was never meant to remain. This truth, when understood, brings peace, for you stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop clinging. You begin to trust that what belongs to you will always find you, effortlessly, naturally, without force. Think of how many times you believed you could not go on without someone, and yet here you are. Think of how many goodbyes you thought would break you, and yet they shaped you into someone wiser, someone deeper, someone more resilient. The very losses that felt like destruction were, in truth, construction. They built you, even as they seemed to break you. They awakened strength you would never have discovered had you never been forced to stand alone. They revealed that your center cannot be taken away, no matter who comes or goes. Do not despise the departures, for they are part of your rising. The ones who leave often make room for the ones who are truly aligned with your spirit. If your hands are clenched around what has gone, how can you receive what is arriving? Release with love. Bless those who walked away, for they played their part. Bless those who remain, for they walk with you still. And bless yourself, for you are the one who endures it all, who remains when all else shifts. People are not possessions. You cannot own them, cannot hold them hostage in your life. True love is freedom. To love someone is to allow them to come and go without desperation, without fear, to know that their presence is a gift, not a guarantee. And when you understand this, you stop fearing loss, for you know that the ones who are meant to walk with you will never need to be convinced to stay. They will stay not out of obligation, not out of fear, but out of love, out of recognition that your paths are meant to align. And when the right ones arrive, their presence will not feel like a struggle. You will not need to shrink to keep them. You will not need to abandon yourself to hold on to them. They will see you as you are and celebrate it. They will walk with you, not because you begged them to, but because it is written that they would. Until then, walk in the strength of your own being, knowing that you lack nothing. You do not wait in emptiness, you live in fullness, and from that fullness, what is meant for you is drawn. There is a great liberation in understanding that people come and go. You no longer fight to hold on to every hand. You no longer fear when someone turns away. You begin to live in trust, in flow, in surrender. You know that all who enter are gifts, and all who leave are gifts as well. The story is unfolding exactly as it should, and you are not abandoned, you are not forgotten, you are not left behind. You are always carried, always guided, always sustained. And through it all, you remain, the constant presence, the eternal witness, the one who endures beyond every arrival and every departure. People come and go, and yet the essence of who you are remains unchanged. From the day you were born, faces have entered your life, and faces have left. Some stayed for years, shaping your memories and marking your heart with love. Some passed through quickly, leaving only faint impressions that you may not even remember. Others left so suddenly that you felt as though the ground was pulled from beneath your feet. But if you look carefully at your journey, you will see that every single person who has ever entered your life has had a role to play in your unfolding. No one arrived without purpose, and no one departed without reason. The story of your life has always been written with precision, and even when you thought you were being abandoned or forgotten, you were being guided toward a higher truth. There is something both painful and beautiful about this reality. Painful because the heart longs to hold on, to keep what feels safe, familiar, and dear. Beautiful because every departure creates space. Every ending prepares the way for a new beginning. Every goodbye carries within it the seed of transformation. When people walk away, they are not taking your destiny with them. Your destiny is not in their hands. It is written within you. What belongs to you cannot be lost. What is meant for you cannot be taken. And what leaves you was never yours to keep forever, no matter how tightly you tried to hold on. Think about the seasons. Winter cannot last forever, though you may grow accustomed to its stillness. Spring cannot be held in place, though you may want its blossoms to stay. Summer will not linger at your command, and autumn will not wait for you to say goodbye to the falling leaves. Nature teaches us this unchanging rhythm. Everything moves in cycles. People too move in cycles. They arrive in your life like the dawn, and some leave like the setting sun. Some remain like the steady stars that guide you in the night, while others flash across your sky like comets, brilliant for a moment and then gone. And just as the earth does not mourn the seasons, you too can learn not to mourn the flow of souls that come and go in your life. The greatest illusion is that you need certain people in order to be whole. You believe that without them you cannot go on, that their absence will destroy you, that their leaving means you are somehow unworthy or unlovable. But this is a lie. You were never incomplete. You were whole before they arrived, and you remain whole after they leave. Their presence may have awakened something within you, joy, passion, laughter, comfort. but that was not theirs to give. It was yours, always yours, arising from within your own heart, reflected back to you through them. And if it was within you once, it is still within you now. You are the source. You always were. Every person who enters your life is a mirror. Some reflect back to you your beauty, reminding you of your worth and your light. Others reflect back your fears and insecurities, showing you the parts of yourself you would rather ignore. Some mirror your potential, encouraging you to rise higher. Others reveal your wounds, forcing you to face them so you can finally heal. These mirrors are not meant to stay forever. Once you have seen what you need to see, once you have learned what you need to learn, their role is complete. To hold them longer than their time is to cling to an old reflection when life is ready to show you a new one. This is why departures, though painful, are never accidents. Life removes what no longer serves you, even when you resist, even when you beg for it to stay. You may not see it in the moment, but what feels like loss is often protection. What feels like rejection is often redirection. How many times have you thought you could not survive without someone, only to discover later that their absence gave you strength you did not know you had? How many times have you cried over a door that closed, only to find another door open that led to blessings far greater than you could have imagined? What once felt like the worst ending became the beginning of your transformation. There is a rhythm to relationships. Some people are meant to walk with you for a short distance, and others for a lifetime. But whether short or long, each encounter has meaning. The friend who stayed by your side for years taught you loyalty. The stranger who offered you kindness in a moment of despair showed you that goodness exists everywhere. The love that broke your heart revealed your capacity to feel deeply. The betrayal that shattered your trust forced you to build boundaries and discover your inner power. Each soul who touched your life has left a mark, and though they may be gone, the mark remains within you. It is natural to grieve when people leave. It is natural to miss their presence, their laughter, their warmth. But grief is not a punishment, it is a doorway to growth. Grief shows you how deeply you have loved, and to love deeply is never a mistake. Do not close your heart because someone left. Do not let bitterness harden you. Keep your heart open, for the open heart is the soil where new love can take root. If you build walls to protect yourself from pain, those same walls will block the blessings that are trying to enter. Let your heart remain soft even when it has been broken. For the ones who are meant for you will never need to be forced to stay. They will remain not because you begged them, but because it is written that they walk with you. There is a profound freedom that comes when you finally accept that people come and go. You stop chasing, you stop clinging, you stop begging those who want to leave to stay. You trust instead that life knows what it is doing, that the flow of souls in and out of your life is not chaos, but design. You begin to see departures not as losses, but as transitions. You begin to see arrivals not as coincidences, but as divine appointments. You begin to live with a deep sense of trust that what is meant for you will always find you, and what is not meant for you will fall away. Think back to the people you once thought were everything to you. You believed you could not live without them, and yet here you are. You believed their leaving would destroy you, and yet their absence shaped you into someone wiser, stronger, deeper. You thought the story ended when they walked away, but in truth, your story was only beginning. Their departure was not the end of you. It was the end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one. You survived. You grew. You became more. That alone should remind you that you will survive again, that no departure can take from you what is eternally yours. When you stand in your wholeness, when you know your worth, you no longer fear the flow of people. You bless those who come and bless those who go. You see everyone as a teacher, everyone as a gift. You stop needing to hold on, for you know that the ones who belong with you will stay naturally. They will not require you to diminish yourself. They will not ask you to dim your light. They will walk with you because your paths are aligned. And when they arrive, you will not need to question it, for their presence will feel like home. People come and go, but you endure. You are the constant in your own story, the thread that weaves through every chapter. Long before anyone entered your life, you were here. Long after many have left, you will still be here. You are not defined by who stays or who leaves. You are defined by the unshakable presence of your own being. You are the one who remains when all else shifts, and in that constancy lies your freedom, your peace, your power. You are whole. You are complete. You are eternal. People come and go, and yet you remain. From the moment you opened your eyes in this world, this truth has been written into the fabric of your life. Faces have entered your story, some staying long enough to shape your heart, others passing by like fleeting shadows that disappeared almost as quickly as they arrived. Each one carried with them something for you. Some offered love, some brought challenge, some stirred joy, some awakened pain, and all of them. You see, nothing here is permanent. Not the seasons, not the days, not the faces you love. The trees shed their leaves, the flowers bloom and wither, the tide rises and falls, the stars shine and fade. So it is with people. Some will enter your life like spring, filling your days with new beginnings and fresh hope. Some will arrive like summer, warming your soul with laughter and light. Others will come like autumn, beautiful but temporary, reminding you of the necessity of change. And some will come like winter, cold and harsh, teaching you the depth of endurance. But just as nature flows without regret, you too must learn to flow with the rhythm of arrivals and departures. It is easy to believe that you need certain people to complete you, to imagine that their absence would leave you broken. Yet the truth is, you were never incomplete. You have always been whole. The presence of another may remind you of your joy, but they do not give you joy. They may awaken your love, but they do not create love in you. They are only mirrors reflecting back what already lives within you. When they leave, they take nothing from you that wasn't already yours. You are still love. You are still joy. You are still complete. Every encounter is a reflection. Some people come to show you your beauty, others to reveal your wounds. Some inspire you to rise higher, others challenge you to face your shadows. Some awaken kindness in you, others awaken boundaries. Every single one has a role, and once the role is complete, the curtain falls and the scene changes. To hold on to a character after their role is done is to stop the play from moving forward. Life is always writing, always unfolding, always leading you deeper into who you truly are. The story never ends with their departure. It only begins again in a new way. When someone leaves, it hurts. You feel the emptiness where their laughter used to be. You feel the silence where their voice once brought comfort. You may even question your worth, wondering why they walked away, why they could not stay. But their leaving does not mean you are unworthy. Their leaving does not mean you are unlovable. It means only that their part in your story was complete. It means only that your path and theirs were never meant to be bound forever. It means only that life is making space for something new. Think of how many times you thought you could not survive without someone, and yet here you are. Think of the heartbreaks you believed would end you, the losses you thought you could never endure, and yet you endured. You rose, you became stronger, you discovered resilience you never knew you had, and if you could survive those moments, you will survive again. No departure has the power to destroy what is eternal in you. What belongs to you can never be taken. What is written for you can never be erased. The pain of loss often comes from resistance, the desire to hold on to what was never meant to stay. You try to cling to people, afraid of being left behind, afraid of being alone. But the more tightly you hold, the more you suffer. When you learn to release, when you bless those who come and bless those who go, you step into freedom. You begin to trust that life knows what it is doing, that every arrival and every departure is aligned with a higher order. You begin to see that those who leave are not robbing you, they are making space. They are preparing the way for new people, new lessons, new blessings. Do not curse the ones who left. They gave you something, even in their absence. They taught you the depth of your strength. They revealed that your joy does not depend on their presence. They reminded you that your worth cannot be diminished by someone else's decision. They may have broken your heart, but through that break, light entered. They may have walked away, but in their leaving, you found your independence. They may have closed their door, but their rejection was a redirection to something greater. You do not need to chase. You do not need to beg. You do not need to hold anyone hostage in your life. What is yours will stay. What is aligned with you will remain. Those who are truly meant for you will not need convincing. They will not leave because they are written into your story, not just for a moment, but for the journey. And until they arrive, you must learn to walk boldly in your own completeness. You must learn to stand in your worth, knowing that you lack nothing, knowing that you are whole. When the right ones come, their presence will feel effortless. You will not have to shrink to keep them. You will not have to silence yourself to be accepted. You will not have to abandon yourself to be loved. They will embrace you as you are, celebrate your growth, and walk beside you with joy. Their love will not feel like chains. It will feel like freedom. And their presence will not feel forced. It will feel like home. The ones who are not meant to stay will leave, and you must let them. To keep holding on is to keep yourself from moving forward. To keep begging for what is gone is to shut the door on what is coming. Let go with love. Release without bitterness. Trust the rhythm of life. Trust that every ending carries the seed of a new beginning. Trust that every departure is not abandonment, but guidance. People come and go, but you remain. You are the constant thread that runs through every chapter of your story. You are the one who was here before they arrived and the one who will remain after they leave. Your worth does not rise or fall based on who walks beside you. Your joy is not dependent on who stays or who goes. Your destiny is not written in someone else's presence. It is written in you. You are the one who endures. You are the one who remains. You are the one who carries the eternal presence of love, of strength, of wholeness. And if you can understand this, if you can embrace this truth deeply, you will never fear another departure again. You will love freely without clinging. You will release without despair. You will walk in trust, knowing that what belongs to you will always find you, and what leaves was never yours to keep. You will live with an open heart, unafraid of loss, unafraid of endings, unafraid of change. For you will know that the story is still being written, and every arrival, every departure is moving you closer to the fullness of who you are meant to be. People come and go, and you must learn to accept this truth without resistance, for it is the very rhythm of life. From the moment you were born, you have been meeting and parting, greeting and releasing, holding and letting go. Faces appear, voices enter your ears, hearts connect with yours, and then, as surely as the sun sets after it rises, those same faces, those same voices, those same hearts depart. Some slip away quietly, others leave abruptly, some fade over time, and others tear themselves away in painful endings. And though every departure feels different, every goodbye unique, the reality beneath it all is the same. People are not permanent fixtures in your life. They are visitors, companions, reflections, teachers, and mirrors who appear for a purpose and leave when their purpose has been fulfilled. You may fight this, you may resist it, you may cling to what is trying to walk away, but life has its own order, and it will not bend to your clinging. There is a deep wisdom in this pattern. People enter your life carrying lessons. Some teach you joy, some teach you sorrow. Some awaken in you compassion and tenderness, others awaken strength and boundaries. Some will break your heart so that you may finally learn to love yourself. Others will inspire you so that you may discover your own hidden greatness. Some reflect your beauty back to you, others reveal your shadows. None of them are without purpose. And when their work is complete, when their reflection has served its purpose, when their role in your play has been performed, they step off the stage and life calls in the next character. It is natural to feel pain when someone leaves. You miss the sound of their laughter, the warmth of their presence, the comfort of their company. You remember how it felt to share moments with them, and you long to go back to those times. But you must understand, their departure does not mean your story is over. It does not mean your joy has ended. It does not mean your future is broken. Their leaving is only the closing of one chapter, so the next can begin. What seems like an ending is always the beginning of something greater. Look back over your life and you will see this truth. Think of the people you once believed you could not live without, and yet here you are, still breathing, still standing, still moving forward. Think of the heartbreaks that once brought you to your knees, the losses that felt unbearable, and yet in time you rose stronger, wiser, deeper. Every person who left you gave you something, even if it was only the discovery of your resilience. Every door that closed led you to another, even if you could not see it then. Every goodbye carved out space within you for new beginnings. What you thought would destroy you has only shaped you. The illusion that causes so much suffering is the belief that people complete you, that their presence is the source of your worth. But you were never incomplete. You were whole before anyone entered your life, and you remain whole after they leave. The joy you felt in their presence was not theirs to give, it was yours all along. Their love awakened it, but it lived in you first. Their attention reflected it, but it was born in you first. And if it was there once, it is still there now, for no one has the power to take it away. People do not complete you, they only remind you of what you already are. You are the source, you are the center, you are the constant in your story. People will come and people will go, but you remain. Their leaving cannot diminish what is eternal in you. Their departure cannot erase your destiny. Your path is not written in the presence of another. It is written in your own being. If someone walks away, they do not take your future with them. If someone closes the door, they do not lock away your blessings. If someone turns their back, they cannot turn away what was meant for you. Nothing real can be lost. What is yours will always find its way back to you, and what does not return was never truly yours. The more you try to cling to people, the more you suffer. The more you chase after what has left, the more you delay what is coming. Life is always trying to bring you new experiences, new opportunities, new souls who are aligned with who you are becoming. But if your hands are closed around the past, how can you receive the future? If your heart is locked in grief for who has gone, how can you open to the love that is waiting to arrive? Release with grace. Let go without fear. Bless the ones who came and bless the ones who left. They were all part of your story, but your story does not end with them. Think of the seasons again. Spring does not beg winter to stay. Summer does not plead with autumn not to come. The earth accepts the flow, the constant cycle of change, the endless rhythm of beginnings and endings. In the same way, you must accept the flow of people in your life. Some are meant to stay for years, others for months, others for only a moment. Some are meant to walk with you for a lifetime, but even those who stay forever will one day part through death. Nothing here is permanent, and that is not a curse, it is a blessing, for impermanence is what makes life precious. The fleeting nature of every encounter gives it meaning. The fact that people come and go teaches you to cherish them while they are here and to release them when they are gone. There will be times when you feel betrayed by someone's leaving. There will be times when you feel abandoned, when their absence cuts into you like a wound. But even in those moments, you are being guided. What feels like rejection is often redirection. What feels like abandonment is often protection. Sometimes life removes people from your path because their presence would have hindered your growth. Sometimes their departure saves you from a pain you could not yet see. Sometimes the very thing you think is breaking you is the thing that is building you. You must learn to trust. Trust that life is not against you. Trust that you are not being punished. Trust that everything, even the comings and goings of people, is working in alignment with your highest good. Trust that you are never truly alone, for even when people leave, you remain with yourself, and within you is the presence of love, wisdom, and strength that can never leave. When you stand in that trust, you stop chasing, you stop clinging, you stop fearing who might leave next. You begin to live in peace, knowing that what is meant for you will stay, and what is not meant for you cannot. And when the right ones come, you will not have to beg them to remain. They will not ask you to shrink yourself in order to be loved. They will not require you to abandon yourself in order to be accepted. They will see you, they will embrace you, they will celebrate you, and their presence will feel like home. These are the ones written into your story, not for a moment, but for the journey. Until they arrive, you must stand firm in your own wholeness, trusting that you are enough, trusting that you lack nothing, trusting that you are already complete. People come and go, but you remain. You are the constant thread woven through every chapter of your life. You were here before they entered, and you will still be here after they leave. Their presence was a gift, and their absence is also a gift. They came to teach you something, and now their leaving is teaching you something as well. Do not hold bitterness in your heart. Do not let grief harden you. Keep your heart open, for the open heart is where love flows in and out. Let it break, let it heal, let it remain soft. For the ones who are truly meant for you will never need to be forced. They will simply stay. And so, when people come, welcome them with gratitude. When people go, release them with love. Walk forward with trust, knowing that the story of your life is still unfolding, that every arrival and every departure is part of a greater design, that nothing has been lost and everything is guiding you deeper into who you truly are. For though people come and go, you endure, you are whole, you are complete, you are eternal. People come and people go, and this is the truth of life that we must all come to accept. No matter how tightly you try to hold on, no matter how deeply you love, No matter how much you wish a moment could last forever, life keeps moving. Time keeps unfolding. Souls pass through your life like the wind passing through the trees. Some linger, some only brush against you, some uproot everything within you, and then they move on. It is the way of existence, and it cannot be stopped. And though this reality often feels painful, though it may feel like loss or betrayal when someone leaves, there is always a divine purpose woven into every arrival and every departure. Every person who has ever crossed your path came for a reason, and every person who left did so because their purpose had been fulfilled. When you look back, you can see this pattern clearly. Think of your childhood friends, those who once felt inseparable from you, those you could not imagine life without. Where are they now? Many have drifted away, perhaps without any dramatic ending, simply fading as time carried you both in different directions. Yet their presence shaped you, taught you lessons, gave you memories. They were never meant to stay forever, but their role mattered. And then think of those who entered your life suddenly, perhaps through chance encounters, perhaps in unexpected places, who stayed only for a short season, but changed you in ways that still echo today. They too were part of the design. No meeting is wasted, no departure is meaningless. Carried a lesson that was necessary for your becoming. You may not have understood it at the time, you may have resisted, you may have clung desperately to those who were never meant to stay, but life has its own rhythm and its own way of teaching you to let go.